XIZ is also brought to you by...
All right, football fans. Welcome to the SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance
and Kingston National Bank. The Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week number 9 here on the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week. Once again, I'm Greg Bigham. Back with me tonight, Jaron Cox, our regular caller guy, coming back after covering Chillicothe last week. Tonight, we're at Adena, our first chance to see the Warriors this year, and our second chance to see the Huntsmen of Huntington, as Huntington visiting here in Frankfort tonight. And Jaron, you look, Unioto's 5-0, St. Trace 4-1, but we got Westfall 3-2. Huntington beat them last week in the late going. Huntington 3-2, Piketon 3-2. Adena's got 2 league wins. So after Unioto, St. Trace, they're kind of bunched up. And I think more importantly right now, I think you realize you're probably not going to win the SVC, but it's particularly Huntington and probably Piketon, because they have Westfall tonight and Huntington next week. They're still looking at some possible playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. And, first of all, this is just a beautiful sight out here. Being out here in Frankfort, I always have a special place in my heart for Adena out here. I've spent my first 8 professional years out here and really enjoyed it. And it's just a nice atmosphere. They're building a wellness center over here right directly to the left of the football field. And it's going to be really nice. They switched things up. They got the press box on the other side. But you're right, when you start looking at tonight's game in the SVC, Huntington, we had them earlier in the year, and they played fantastic against Beaver Eastern, who's undefeated. We thought Huntington had the game won, Greg, and what might have been the game of the year so far. And I believe Eastern scored, they had to go like 60 or 70 yards with like 11 seconds left, something very
16,
similar to that. Yeah,
16
seconds, yeah. And it was kind of a heartbreaker, but at the same time, I almost felt like, man, Huntington's kind of for real. And they've shown that they are, being a Division VI school, Region 24, they're really competing well. They're coming off a huge win last week. They were losing to Westfall at halftime. They came back and they ended up beating Westfall 34-21. And we've seen Westfall a few times, and they're a pretty good football team. And you look at Huntington and kind of where they are in the SVC standings, and we're going to start talking about playoffs also. Huntington's ranked 12th right now in Region 24, and that is exactly how many teams get into the playoffs. And this is a game that Huntington needs to win if they're going to get into the playoffs. They've got a big matchup next week also against Piketon, who's sitting at 5-3. And I think the thing about Huntington is, as you start looking at their schedule up and down, they've scored 30 or more points in 6 of their 8 games. And I feel like that's their magic number, it's 30. The one game they scored 30, they lost. It was to Beaver Eastern, but we talked about they're undefeated. They're one of the top teams in Division 7. But 30 is the number for Huntington for them to win football games. And you sit here and you look at Adena, and, they're really known for running the football, ball control, and they've won 3 games this year also. So it should be a really good football game here tonight in Frankfort.
Yeah, absolutely. With Huntington, boy, think back how many points they could have gotten if they could have beat Eastern on that computer.
Absolutely.
Right? All right, we're going to take a timeout. The Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week. Back with more pregame after this.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do what's right, even when no one's looking. We treat people the way we want to be treated, volunteer in our communities, and keep a watchful eye to safeguard our customers. At Ross County Banking Center, we strive to do that better every day. Find more information on our website, vcnbfamily.bank, or visit one of our physical locations. Member FDIC.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world. With multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
Landscape provides expert lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal services for year-round property maintenance. Call the experts at Greenwald, 740-701-6744. Greenwald Lawn and Landscape, a proud sponsor of SVC Sports.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
All at Kingston National Bank. Looking for a hometown favorite? Stop by the Lunchbox in Chillicothe, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. From hearty all-day breakfast to a variety of wraps, subs, and paninis.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
The Lunchbox in Chillicothe, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. Enjoy all-day breakfast, fresh lemonade shake-ups, and a big menu for a small space. Visit us at 24 East Water Street or call 740-775-8624. Delivery, dine-in, and carry-out are available.
HSA, Adena would be 2-5. However, they count that as a win. They did win that night, so 3-5 overall for the Warriors. And Jaron already mentioned they like to run the ball. They got Ethan Elick at quarterback. They got Hayden, Williams, Rawlings, all running backs. And they like to ball control. Talking to a couple people said, you know what, they've played well at times, but they just seem to have one or two mistakes after maybe driving. And Jaron, you know this. When you're a ball control, a lot of times you've got to go 70, 75 yards and not make any mistakes. And it's not like you're going to grab big chunks of ground. And sometimes if you have a big penalty or you have a turnover, it's been hard for them to overcome.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like when we've had Zane Trace on the radio a few times.
Yes.
We talk about that's a team that's not built to kind of play behind the sticks a little bit. And I think Adena's kind of the same way, right? You know, they like to run the football. They want to get 3-4 yards of carry. And if they have a bad negative play or a holding penalty or a 10 or 15-yard penalty, it really puts them in a tough spot. And, you know, they've had a nice year. You know, they graduated a couple really good players last year, and they bounced back. And, you know, Coach Hurt, I think, Greg, this is the first time Adena's had a coach for 2 years in a row for at least 5 years. And so they need consistency. Coach Hurt is an Adena guy through and through. He's here for the long run. He wants what's best for these kids. He knows these kids. And I think he's what's best for Adena right now.
On the other side, Jaron, Huntington, we were first of all, I think Frankie Hirsch, a junior, but had a big interception for a TD return on an interception last week up at Westfall. You liked the running backs a lot. The last time we had them in week number 2, Taylor and Thomas, and we both really liked the effort they got from McNeil and Nichols. So they've got really 6 or 7 really good athletes.
They do. You know, Huntington's one of those schools. It's kind of like Adena where, you know, every 5, 6, 7 years they get a nice group of athletes, and Huntington's going through that stretch right now. This is no joke that they're sitting here tied for 3rd place in the SVC. I think when basketball season rolls around, you're going to see the same thing. They will surprise some people. They're not going to surprise me. I've watched them the last couple years. They have some really good athletes right now. You know, you just mentioned Frankie Hirsch at quarterback. He's got his freshman brother Calvin Hirsch out wide. I really like Carson McNeil, a nice big target as a tight end, kind of went down the middle a few times against Beaver Eastern. Junior McDonald, Evan Thomas, Isaac Taylor, he's like a bowling ball out there just plowing people over. And, you know, they got some really good athletes. And I was, you know, fortunate enough to kind of stand down near the track and watch both teams warm up a little bit. And it looks like Huntington was a little bit bigger on the offensive line, defensive line. And I think that's something that they're going to try to use to their advantage tonight.
Jaron, I'm going to put you on the spot. Got Isaac Taylor, Bryce Johnson over at Zane Trace, and Braden at Unioto. Who's the best bowling ball, bro? They all three. You know, I'm not remembering the SVC where we got. There's probably more than that actually.
Right.
At Joey Wright is not quite the same size, but we'll run over you up at Westwood. But every team seems, and I haven't seen Adena yet. Everybody has somebody that will just take you on straight on, and instead of getting 2 yards, they get 5 or 6.
I do. I could go on about each one. You look at the Braden kid. he has some really good speed. He is not afraid of the contact. He always lands forward. Taylor, he kind of hunts you down. He looks for you and goes right at you. I almost feel like Bryce Johnson's kind of the best of both worlds. He has breakaway speed. He's not afraid of the contact either. He kind of punishes you as you go.
He wears you down.
Neither of those three are bad options. I would take all three on my team. But I feel like Bryce Johnson may be the best of both worlds right there.
Certainly some good running backs in the SEC this year.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just a couple minutes away. Let's take one more quick break. We are set. Kickoff. Adena will be receiving. You're listening to the Thomason Insurance SV.
Looking for a job that works with your life? Your local McDonald's is now hiring. Join a team that's all about flexibility, growth, and a fun, fast-paced work environment.
At McDonald's, we're more than just burgers. We're part of the community. From supported local events to helping neighbors in need, we're proud to give back.
Apply today at your local Chillicothe or Waverly McDonald's or McHire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it.
Oh, my mower won't start. I know what to do. Take it to Matheny's Small Engine Repair, located on Savageville School Road in between Jackson and Chillicothe. Matheny's is now an official Encore dealer with both new commercial and residential models on display. They'll get you up and mowing.
Jerseys tonight. And again, I believe Huntington won the toss. They elected to receive. So Huntington will be kicking it off. And hey, well, a little bit crowded tonight. And also, I apologize, but kind of got tinted glass here, and it's a little bit difficult to see through, especially when you're an old guy like me. But we'll do the best we can to bring you SVC action. By the way, next week, our final regular season game, and we will follow in the playoffs. But next week, we'll be back at Unioto on a chance for the Shermans if they shouldn't have any problems with Paint Valley. I'm not even sure who they play now. I'll double check.
They play Southeastern.
Southeastern, yeah. And they finish up with Westfall at home. That'll be our broadcast game next week at Unioto. Chance for the Shermans to probably finish 10-0 and win the gold football in the SVC. So that'll be the game we cover next week. Obviously, Unioto in a great spot for the get into the playoffs. If they finish in the top 4, they would get a bye. So we're hoping a couple of the other teams will play in week 1, and Huntington being one of those that has a chance. Probably needs to win tonight and next week to get in, sitting at number 12.
It's kind of crazy. You sit here and you talk about Unioto maybe finishing 10-0 and not sure if they're going to get a bye. And you know, you look in the Tri-Valley Conference, Athens, they have a good chance to go 10-0. They're 8-0 right now. They're ranked 12th in Region 12. So I think, you know, it just goes to show you need to play some good teams. It's not like it was before where basically almost everybody's getting in the playoffs. You have to win some good games, some games against teams that are good to get those playoff points that you need.
We're sent to go back deep for Adena is Chase Mosser. And also back, I believe, is Joey Francis, number 9. All set to go. Got the clock set back at 12 minutes. And again, Huntington going from right to left. Not sure what we're waiting on to. Now we got the whistle. Let's see, we're all ready to go. Kicker for the Huntsmen. For 59, Jared Johnson will be kicking off, the junior. Jared mentioned Huntington really has pretty good size. So Johnson ready to go. We're underway, and a short end-over-end kick, and taken And I think it was caught with the knee down or between the 30 and 35. One of the upbacks for the Warriors came up, went down on one knee to catch it. So Hayden actually returned it, but his knee touched, and we'll see where his knee went down. I think right around the 35 is where.
Yeah, it looked like maybe that was kind of a design play. Good job of Adena being well prepared right there, expecting a short kick. Unfortunately, when he caught it, his knee was down. Now, obviously, in high school and college, when your knee is down, that's where you're stopped at.
Ethan Illich, the quarterback. Warriors with a split receiver to the right, everybody else in tight. They go with the pistol formation, hand off to the right side, trying to spin outside and fumbled the football. And right off the bat, Huntington recovers. Jared, I didn't see which of the running backs. They had two running backs back with Illich out of the pistol. They ran kind of a counter play off to the right side. And one of the Huntsmen just reached out, hit the arm, and knocked the ball loose right off the bat. And a turnover in the very first play. Huntington's got great field position at the 33 of Adena.
Yeah, a nice job. The first Huntington guy got there, kind of wrapped him up. And somebody came in and stripped it. And like you said, it's kind of hard to see through this tinted glass. I couldn't get an exact number because Huntington or Adena doesn't have white numbers. They got the two-shade blue.
The right away, the Huntsmen have it. They'll hand it off straight ahead, looking for yardage, breaking loose momentarily, 33-29, maybe the 28, when it looked like they were stopped.
Evan Thomas.
So Thomas on the carry. Looked like he was only going to get a yard, and just what Jaron and I were talking about, the kind of runner, Thomas and Taylor, that can turn a 1-yard run into a 5-yard pickup. Second down and 5. Huntington will split two receivers to the left. Frankie Hirsch, the quarterback, with single running back. He's in the pistol. Straight back, goes straight ahead on the run again. And near a first down inside the 25, and I believe they picked it up about 5 more yards. And once again, it's Evan Thomas on the carry. I think it's going to be maybe short by a yard.
Yeah, short by a yard. Huntington's offensive line is doing a really good job in these first two plays of kind of getting a push. And Thomas is getting up to the line of scrimmage and really seeing where the hole is at.
The 3rd and 1. Carson McNeil goes to the right side. So does Isaac Taylor. Hirsch by himself wants to roll out, and he is going to be stopped for no gain. But now he's still fighting for yardage, and he breaks loose. How he did that, and he might have gotten the first down when he was going to lose 4 yards. Wow. Adena had him stopped for a loss, Jaron, and he just kept his feet moving and managed to struggle forward and get the first down. It was a great effort by Hirsch.
Yeah, second effort right there, kept his legs moving and got some assistance from his offensive line. They kept blocking and turned what looked like a no gain into 3 or 4 yards right there to pick up the first down.
Nichols out to the right side. They go back the pistol with a running back. Hirsch sends a man in motion. Brand new set of downs for the Huntsmen. After the turnover, they will give it straight ahead. 5 yards, busting to the outside, maybe 10. Still busting down the field inside, I believe inside the 10-yard line. I believe another first down. It's going to be goal to go. That was the big guy, Taylor, I believe.
Yep, he got him a head full of steam right there and picked up what looks like about 13 yards for the big fella. First and goal for the Huntsmen.
Inside the 10, and spotted at the 8. First and goal to go at the 8-yard line. See if they keep it with the big guy Taylor here. Hirsch checks over to sidelines. They're staying with the pistol. 2 receivers to the left, wing back to the right. Off the right side, Taylor. Bust forward, falls to the 5. Got 3.
This first drive right here, Greg, it looks like Adena's going to have a hard time tackling the running backs of Isaac Taylor and Evan Thomas. They're pretty big backs. Adena is just trying to arm tackle like above the waist right now. That's going to make a tough game for them if they try to do that.
Adena's had penetration into the offensive backfield, at least on 3 of the plays so far. But Jaron's exactly right. They've not been able to couldn't get Taylor down earlier, Thomas, and certainly not Hirsch when they had him stopped. Second and goal, go at the 5. Hirsch keeps it, going to roll to the right, looks to throw. Still looking now, lobs it up in the air for the right corner, but great coverage by the Warriors. Nobody was really open. Kind of surprised they ran that play. They've been running straight ahead for good yardage. Now they put themselves in 3rd and goal to go at the 5.
Yeah, it looks like he had Dalton Nichols kind of open in the end zone right there. He just kind of overthrew him, but yeah, I was kind of surprised to see a pass play right there also. Running the football.
Never been, especially with the big guy Taylor, they've not been less than 3 yards. So second down at the 5, you got 3 chances to get 5 yards. They decide to throw the ball, but now it's 3rd and goal to go at the 5-yard line. Well, what do? They put it up again. Hirsch runs the end around, cutting back inside and fighting for yardage. Now pushed back, and did not get into the end zone. Maybe got a yard or two. Was on the end, or kind of the wing back around.
Evan Thomas right there, kind of like a tight end, wide receiver coming in motion, a quick handoff, cut up the middle, picked up 2 yards, and now you got 4th and goal from the 3. This is what you were talking about a minute ago, Greg. If you run it on second down, maybe you're at the 1 or already in the end zone right here.
Nobody can predict every play. You think maybe on the play action you have a guy wide open, but they've been running the ball awfully well.
Empty backfield.
So, 4th and goal to go. Hirsch by himself is going to roll to the right. Looks to throw. Now he's got pressure. Cuts back the other way. Throws over the middle. Man wide open. Touchdown. Nice read by Hirsch. He rolled to the right. Somebody came back across the field right under the goalpost.
Dalton
Nichols. So, buddy, that Jaron talked a lot about when we had them against Eastern, and that was a great read by Hirsch, Jaron. He was really in a little bit of trouble, had to stop and come back to his left. And then he had great vision to find Nichols right under the goalpost for the touchdown.
Yeah. You got to give Frankie Hirsch a lot of credit on that play. He had some pressure, used his legs. He's very athletic and mobile and escaped some pressure.
Extra point attempt is blocked and unsolidly blocked by Adena, so no extra point. Timeout on the field. We have 8:13 to play in the first quarter. Huntington first on the board. Huntsman 6, Adena nothing. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
Huntington takes advantage of Adena turned the ball over on a fumble on the first play of their first offensive play of the game. Huntington took over to 33, drives it in, scoring on 4th down on a 3-yard pass play, and they lead it 6-0 after the extra point was blocked. So obviously, Jaron, you're on the road, you're Huntington, you want to get off to a good start, and they were able to take advantage of that turnover.
Yeah, a nice job by Huntington taking advantage of the fumble right there. They started at the plus 33-yard line, and a lot of early success for Huntington running the football with Evan Thomas and Isaac Taylor. And just like we saw when we saw Huntington earlier in the season, Greg, you got to account for Frankie Hirsch's legs.
Yep.
He does a great job of keeping plays alive and finding receivers open down the field.
Johnson will kick it off again. Last time he had a short kick, which I'm like, Jaron, I think it was on purpose. This time they kicked a line drive, coming down, caught in the air to 35. Good return out to the 40 and across the 40-yard line for the Warriors, out around the 42. Good job of handling that line drive kick. Yeah, it was handled by Fisher Schaff of Adena. Caught it on the line. Great return. Good field position to start for Adena. They're across their 40. They're actually at about the 43-yard line to start this series.
Yeah, Adena's well prepared on the special teams plays so far. They've blocked an extra point, and they've been right there on these short kicks to get them. They've had good starting field position here on both drives, and they really need to take advantage of this. Huntington moved the ball pretty easy. They don't want to get down by 2 scores here.
Man in motion. Elick, the quarterback, in the pistol. Looks quick. Bubble screen to the right side from maybe a couple yards to the 45.
Joey Francis.
Francis on the catch.
Picked up about a yard.
Yeah, I thought he got to the 45. He was stepped out of bounds at the 44. So they pick up a yard. Good, quick coverage from Huntington coming up quickly on that quick bubble screen to the right side. So 2nd down and 9 for the Warriors. Ely comes back out. They're running out of the pistol. They have a flanker right and one split into the left side. They send a flanker in motion. They give it to him around the left side to the 45, across the 45, maybe the 47. 3 or 4 more yards. Going to bring up third and about 6.
Rawlings, yeah.
Grant Rawlings on the carry.
Picked up about, 3 or 4 yards? 3? Three?
We'll call it 3. We'll call it third and 6.
Yeah.
1 on first down on the pass, 3 by Rawlings, so third down and 6.
Those plays can be really effective if there's a hole over there, Greg, because that receiver is coming in motion, and if he sees a hole and can dart through there, he's going to be hard to catch because he's already got his head full of steam.
Caden Birchfield, one of the inside linebackers for Huntington. Their linebackers are up close to the line of scrimmage. Elick rolls to the right, wants to throw, still rolling, throws it short, nice catch, and inbounds and right at the first down marker.
Colt Garrison.
Giving
him the first down.
Roll to the right. Garrison came out. Garrison's got good size. And he made a nice catch, tiptoed right, kept his feet in bounds. And it was a nice pass by Elick and a great catch by Garrison to get the first down for the Warriors.
Yeah, just a rollout play with some receivers coming at different levels. And a nice job finding Colt Garrison pick up the first down.
At the 47 of Huntington. Huntington again with about 8 guys near the line of scrimmage. They run a quick trap play up the middle and going to get still pushing forward 3 or 4 yards.
Rawlings on the carry.
Grant Rawlings.
Second 4 for Rawlings. Second down and 6.
Nice push by the Adena offensive line right there. That's what Adena wants. They want that 3-4 yard run every play. And nice job by the offensive line.
We're going to set the Huntsman up front. Ready to go second and 6. Elick calls the signals, and he'll hand it off again. Right guard, quick tackle right away, jerking, trying to take the football away.
Isaac Taylor wrapped him up with his left arm and tried to knock the ball away, like you said, with his right arm. Couldn't knock it out, but he kept Grady Hayden right there for a no gain and brings up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Taylor, one of the inside linebackers, Birchfield, the other one, very active. I was double check because I think that was our Monroe's Collision hit of the game the last time. Jackson McNeil, number 44, one of the defensive ends. 3rd and 5, and they're going to run a double reverse. Going to throw. They got the quarterback open, but Adena's going to run it to the 45. They got a lot of room to the 40 and out of bounds. Good speed. They ran a double reverse. Could have been a pass back to the quarterback, but keeping the football all the way around was the wide receiver, and I believe it was Francis. Francis showed great speed there. He could have thrown the ball to his quarterback, but he saw an open field and used his speed to get around the corner.
Yeah, that was a nice play call right there by Coach Hurt. He kind of saw that Huntington was being aggressive, called up the reverse right there, and a nice job by Joey Francis. He had the option to throw, but he saw a lot of green in front of him.
Big pickup. Now they're going to run it again, and quickly pulling down from behind for a loss. Adena caught in the backfield. Good penetration that time. Jared Johnson got in there.
I think Huntington has prepared for Grady Hayden. He's touched the ball 3 times. He's got 1 fumble, and he's got a 0-yard run and then a negative 1-yard run right there also.
2nd and 11. The ball is spotted right on the 25 of Huntington. Elick stays with the pistol formation, 3 wide to the left. They want to throw it. Again, a quick screen out to the left side, looking for running room. 25, 20, 18, on the loose to the 15, breaks loose to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Adena.
Fisher
Schaff. Fisher Schaff made the catch. It was just a quick hitch pattern. All he did was turn inside 1 yard down the field. They got it to him quickly. He got a block. And then he used his speed. And, I was impressed with Huntington's speed the last time we had him, Jaron. But I'll tell you what, Adena's shown great speed. Francis and Schaff both can really get after it speed-wise. And they tied at 6 apiece, looking to take the lead.
Yeah, a nice little quick pass to Schaff on the outside. Broke a tackle or 2 and sprinted to the end zone.
Extra point kick is up. It's plenty long, and it is up and good. Timeout on the field. Each team has put a score on the board, and 4:51 to go first quarter. Adena 7, Huntington 6. You're listening to the Thomason Insurance SVC Game of the Week.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by...
Neelick rolled out on the 3rd down and 6 play, found his tight end Colt Garrison. Then he just hit Schaff, and Schaff broke some tackles for a 25-yard touchdown.
Adena takes the kick return. Look out on the right sidelines to the 40, down to sidelines 50. Adena 40, knocked out of bounds at maybe the 39. And that's Carson McNeil. He's an athlete. And he got a full head of steam.
I think he stepped out about the 49, Greg.
They're going to bring it back a little bit. So
another short field for Huntington right here.
Yeah, he had gotten down around the 39, that he stepped down at the 49, but they will start in plus territory.
Huntington's had good field position both times they've had the football.
Last time began at the 33 of Adena on the fumble recovery. This time at the 49 of Adena. First down, they go off the right side. 46, breaking loose up the middle, and good yardage near, it will be a first down, about a 14-yard pickup. I think that was Taylor again, right up the middle, and he broke through.
Isaac Taylor. Again, he's that kid that he's kind of looking for contact. No huddle here by the Huntsmen.
New set of downs. They give it again. Taylor right side, follows a little bit and moves forward for another 4 or 5. Just kind of was very patient behind one of his blockers and kept the feet moving, moved a little bit to his left, and let's give him 4. Second down and 6 in Adena territory.
Taylor's doing a really good job. He's getting right behind his offensive lineman and just putting his hand on their back and then waiting for that hole, and he's popping through there.
At the 30-yard line, 2nd and 6 at the 30 of Adena. 7-6 Adena leads it. Hirschkall signals in the pistol, and they'll run it again. Not a lot of running room, but again, moving forward. Moving off to the right, I think it was Thomas that time on the carry, and he did not get no more than about a yard. He kind of got shoved to the right. He wasn't able to keep that north-south movement going, and when he was pushed east-west, he got taken down for only a yard. 3rd down and 5 for the Huntsmen.
I'd say this is 4-down territory, so I'd look for
so.
2 runs right here by Huntington.
Well, Hirsch has gotten pressure when he's tried to throw, but his scrambling ability, which is they're used to, has gotten him free. A lot of people at the line of scrimmage, straight ahead on the run, and near a first down. Adena came with a run blitz. Evan Thomas on the carry. And looks like the chains are going to move.
I think he got about 6 yards right there. You know, Huntington kind of picked up the tempo a little bit. I'm wondering if maybe they're trying to wear Adena down up front a little bit here.
Spotted inside the 25, so 1st and 10. Hirsch wants to throw, looks, throws to the side, and missed his man. He had him open. And it looks like there's a penalty flag down.
A late flag.
Holding is going to be called against Sonny. It was a tough hold because the pass only took about a second and a half. It was a snap to Hirsch. He looked immediately, tried to look-in pass to his left side, but threw it behind the receiver.
Yeah, that's a first penalty of the game, and that's a big one. Adena's going to accept it. It's going to be 1st and 20.
The line of scrimmage was around the 21. So they're going to bring it back, and Jaron's right. It's first and long. Quick, ready to go. They're going to run. Now breaking to the outside is Thomas. Gets to the right corner. They had first and 20. He gets maybe 8 or 9 of it back on that carry.
Yeah, nice pickup on first down by Huntington when it's first and 20.
Give him 8 yards on the carry. So it'll be second down and 12. Got a good chunk of that holding call back. Brings it back to second and 12, almost where they would have been second and 10 after the incomplete pass before the holding call. Hurst stays in the pistol, single running back. In pretty tight. Now they're going to run it to the right side with a little bit of room. 5 near 10 yards and near the first down marker.
Well, Taylor, he's a big boy out there. He's a really big boy.
Jaron, you mentioned running with patience, and you're talking about he's staying behind his line. Well, they're ready to go again. 3rd and 5. Taylor right side. Now cuts back inside, pushing. Now pushed back by a lot of blue jerseys. He did not get to first down. Going to bring up 4th down as Huntington going in a hurry-up offense.
So I think we're about 4th and 2.
Yep, I think you're right. They needed to get to the 11. Looks like they're at about the 13. And the Huntsmen come out. Adena's getting good penetration, Jaron, is that they're not able to get the guy down at the line of scrimmage. Part of that's because of the strength of Taylor. 4th down, tight formation. Give straight ahead on the carry and pushing, still pushing first down, still pushing. Getting a lot of help, almost like a tush push in the end there, the way it wound up, and an easy first down for
if they're going to get into the playoffs. They've got
the
Jackson next week also against Piketon, who's sitting at 5-3. And I think the thing about Huntington is
the 44 Jackson McNeil who moved up there. Now inside the 5-yard line, first and goal to go. They run the same play. They get behind almost like a tush push, pushing. And I haven't heard any whistles yet.
They lost.
Now they're going to mark it down. It'll be second and goal to go.
If you remember correctly, Greg, that's the play they did that against Eastern about every time they got near the goal line.
Yeah, they bring in the wingback or tight end, McNeil, and he's almost behind the right guard.
Really,
instead of handing it deep in the backfield, they just take the snap and hand it to him. He's already right behind the offensive line, only about a yard deep.
It should be
able to push
a
down.
really good football game here tonight in Frankfurt.
We're going to show second down.
Absolutely, with Huntington. Boy, think back how many points they could have gotten if they could have beat Eastern on that
play in the quarter.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. The Thomas Insurance SVC Game of the Week. Back with more
somebody's helmet or
pregame
something
after this.
came off. Had to get a sub for the defense.
At the 3-yard line.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. We strive to do that better every day. Find more information on our website, vcnbfamily.bank, or visit one of our physical locations. Member FDIC.
Eastern back in week number 2. Clock running down to 5 seconds. Huntington says we're going to take our time, and we'll start the
At
second
Tomlinson
quarter.
Insurance, we've been
Down on the
protecting
other end at
families,
about the
farms, and
2-yard
businesses
line with
since
3rd and goal to go.
1853. From auto,
Time out on
home,
the
farm,
field, actually, the
life,
end of the first
or health.
quarter.
We
And
tailor
it is
coverage
Adena
that
7,
fits your
Huntington
world
6. You're
with
listening to
multiple
Thomas
carriers
Insurance,
to meet your
SVC.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health. We tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
Certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build. People want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to, having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, need that, and truthfully, they deserve it.
All at Kingston National Bank. Looking for a hometown favorite?
I like right now, Adena's done a nice job the last 2 times of stuff, and we'll call it a tush push. I like, if I'm Huntington, giving the ball to Hirsch, kind of letting him roll out, let him possibly use his legs or find a
Stressed,
receiver
overstimulated?
open in the end
Smash
zone.
it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
4 guys back there. Hirsch is going to run behind all 4 of them. Now cuts it back inside, and he goes untouched. That was a well-conceived play.
The Lunchbox and Chill Coffee, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. Enjoy all-day breakfast, fresh lemonade shake-ups, and a big menu for a small space. Visit us at 24 East Water Street or call 740-775-8624. Delivery, dine-in, and carry-out are available.
Behind his 3 guys in front of him that were not even linemen. They were all running backs, wing backs, and actually got in untouched, did not get knocked down, and now they're going to go for 2, leading 12-7, having their first extra point attempt blocked. But Hirsch back in the pistol, and they run the same play again to the left side, and this time he's gotten pushed to back, and no go this time. Ran the same play. Adena was there to stuff it up, and Huntington scores again, but this time they do not get to the extra point for the second time in a row, and they lead it 12-7. 1 play into the second quarter, 12-7. We'll keep it right here. You're listening to the Thomason Insurance SVC Game of the Week, and so far 2 tries, Jaron, for the Huntsmen, and they've been able to, again, they've had great field position, 33-yard drive and a 49-yard drive, with 2 touchdowns for the Huntsmen.
Yeah, Huntington, they've done a nice job moving the football, but they have benefited from the short field. They had an excellent kickoff return on that drive. Their defense caused a fumble in the previous drive. Adena, the first time they had the football, first play fumble, but their second drive, they went right down the field about almost 60 yards and scored a touchdown also, and they showed some good stuff outside. They ran a nice reverse play. They had a nice rollout pass by their quarterback, Ethan Elick, and then Simon Schaff broke a tackle or 2 and took it 25 yards to the house. And right now, the fumble in the first play of the game is what the difference is.
Won the toss, took it, and fumbled on the first play. Up the Huntsmen, so we'll see the Huntsmen moving the ball well, but see if the inability to get their extra points comes back to haunt them. And we both really liked the effort they got from
Adena is not expecting a long kick. Their deep guys are about the 20-yard line, 15, 20-yard line.
Johnson will kick it again. Last time he kicked the line drive, and Adena did a great job of catching it and bringing it out across the 40 to the 43. Here we go again, and this time kicks it on the ground. It's loose on the sidelines, and I think Adena was able to dive on it.
Nice recovery.
That was loose for a while, almost, I don't know if it was on purpose, but it turned out to be an excellent onside kick.
Yeah.
Went towards the Huntington sidelines, but somebody came up very quickly for Adena and got on it. Hayden, that was a nice job by Hayden, because if he had not dove and got on it, then Huntington was going to get that onside kick.
Yeah. So far, special teams have been an issue for Huntington.
Yeah.
A missed extra point. Their kickoffs, their kick coverage haven't been the greatest, and it's allowing Adena here good field position here to start their third drive.
This one at their own 41. They also in the pistol, and they want to look to throw to the sidelines. Got a man open, 45, 47, knocked out of bounds, picked up about 7 or 8. Quickly up to make the tackle was Carson McNeil. Bryce Johnson over at Zane Trace and Braden at Union. Now we got who's the best bowling ball, bro? Official called a timeout.
We have a guy. Yeah, I think we got a guy down here stretching his legs. Oh, we got somebody else in front of us.
Not quite the same size, but we'll run over you. But every team seems that we have.
While we got a second, we got a quick update, Greg.
Okay.
Zane Trace is winning 34-0 with 3 minutes and 49 seconds left in the first quarter.
They had a pretty easy time with Southeastern last week. So now we got. I think there's. I think it's one of the Adena players is down. He's on the sidelines, and so they're going to take a quick timeout. We'll take one as well. It's 12-7. Huntington on top. We're early in the second quarter, and you're listening to the Thomason Insurance SVC game.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world. With multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs, Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
At McDonald's, we're more than just burgers. We're part of the community. From supporting local events to helping neighbors in need. We're proud to give back.
Apply today at your local Chill Coffee or Waverly McDonald's or McHire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it.
Helmet fell off.
Yeah. I believe it was that Rawlings on the carry, I believe. Yeah, Rawlings close to the first down. They gave him pretty good forward
My mower won't
progress.
start. I know what to do. Take it to Matheny's Small Engine Repair, located on Savageville School Road in between Jackson and Chillicothe. Matheny's is now an official Encore dealer with both new commercial and residential models on display. They'll get you up and mowing.
Quick hitch patterns, almost bubble screens. They've been able to hit a couple down and out patterns. They had a double reverse to the wide receiver that went big. But as far as running the ball inside the tackles, now 3rd and 1. See what they elect to do here. They stay in the pistol. Ely calls signals. Single running back behind him. He'll run it straight ahead. He's stuffed, but he's forward progress. Great run. He got down low and able. Huntington got the ball loose, but after the whistle. So
that was a nice second effort right there by Grant Hayden. He got hit in the backfield, a yard deep in the backfield, kept those legs driving, and pushed forward there to get the Adena first down.
Sure, I would think they were going to go for it on 4th down, but yeah, he was stopped line of scrimmage a yard short, and he just kept those legs moving and almost single-handedly pushed himself forward for the first down there in Huntington territory at the Huntington 48. Early in the second quarter, 12-7, Huntington on top. 2 receivers to the left, flanker to the right. They're going to run a counter play to the left side, 45-44, pickup of 4 or 5 yards.
Oh, we got a late penalty flag thrown in. It almost looked like he was signal a targeting right there.
That was a counter play, a wingback counter. Oh, we have a flagger. I'm still looking. They're going to mark it off. You're right, against Huntington.
Still did not hear anything from the lead official.
Penalty on the Huntsman, that'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Jaron said it was a late flag, so maybe happened on the tackle or somebody got in late on the tackle, but New set it down for Adena. They move it down inside to 30. They go quickly. Second man through right side. Good running room straight up the middle to the 15, to the 10, fighting for yardage. Falls into the end zone and touchdown. Hunter Williams, first time he's carried the ball, and 29 yards. They couldn't get him down. Straight up the middle. Touchdown Adena, and they retake the lead. This might be a 41-40 game here, Jaron.
It may be. Nice job by Hunter Williams right there, finding a gap, had nice speed, bursted right through it, and puts the Warriors back on top.
A line up for the extra point kick. They've lead it by 1. The extra point, straight ahead kicker, and got good leg into it, up, and it is good. No timeout on the field. We still got 9:50 till halftime. Adena 14 and Huntington 12, and back with the kickoff on the Tomlinson Insurance.
Ready to transform your entire lawn? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Just need a quick mow? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Driveway full of snow? Call Greenwald Lawn and Landscape. Greenwald Lawn and Landscape provides expert lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal services for year-round property maintenance. Call the experts at Greenwald 740-701-6744. Greenwald Lawn and Landscape, a proud sponsor of SVC Sports.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson.
Quick bubble screen, got the ball outside, did not run the ball inside the tackles real successfully, but that time was inside the tackle, and Williams just burst through the middle, and they couldn't get him down.
So far, the name of the game for Adena has been big plays on offense. A reverse, double reverse, like you said, picked up 19 yards. A big third down pass from Elick to Schaff, and then the 25-yard pass to Schaff right there, a 29-yard by Hunter Williams. So big play.
Yep. And over-end kick coming down, taken by the Huntsmen at about the 20, out to the 30, 35, and now will be brought down right around the 35-yard line. Good job protecting the football.
They're going to start 1st and 10 at the 36. And
I think it was Landon Neff on the return.
Yeah.
So across the 35, let's call it the 36.
The way this game is going, Greg, it looks like whoever has the ball last may win.
The only team that's been stopped was Adena on their very first, took the opening kickoff, and on their first play, they fumbled. That's been the only time somebody's been stopped tonight. Huntington scored, Adena scored, Huntington scored, Adena scored. The only difference, Huntington can't convert on their extra points. They trail 14-12. Move people to the left side, run it off the left guard with running room. From the 36 out near the 40 was Thomas.
Pickup of about 4 right there. And, you know, I think if I'm Huntington, I kind of want to just pound the ball right here, kind of wear Adena down, wear them down up front a little bit.
9:20 to play till halftime, 14-12 Adena. Not sure I expected teams to score like that. Certainly, as Jaron just said, Adena's been very explosive. Like what? Just said 4 plays, I think, over 20 yards so far. Hirsch, the quarterback, puts a man in motion back over to the side. That's McNeil. They'll run it again straight ahead, looking for blocking, and now trying to tackle the ball. Adena can't do it, and pushing forward, maybe got a first down. That was Taylor or Thomas, and it's going to be a first down. Evan Thomas on the carry. Taylor's a senior, Thomas a senior, but Hirsch is a junior. Little brother Calvin a freshman, Carson McNeil a junior, McDonald's a sophomore. So
we had a penalty, Greg. What do we have?
I have no idea. The official on this side signaled first down, but
Looked like maybe a.
Well, we'll see.
So we're going. I think that was an illegal shift. So that's going to be a 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage, maybe.
I don't know. They never did signal. I'd say the crew's not really good about giving what the call is. Second down. Hirsch wants to roll to the right. Now he wants to throw back to the left. Still looking. Now throws to the sidelines. Got a man, and they're only going to get about 4 yards. Good, quick coverage by Adena when it looked like they were going to be open for some more running room. But Hirsch, again, so effective scrambling to the right, rack to the left, found an open receiver, got back some of that penalty yardage. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for the Huntsmen.
Greg, who's number 44 for Huntington?
That is Jackson McNeil.
Jackson McNeil, okay.
Yeah, he's the guy they put in there on that tush push sometimes, runs some tight end. 3rd down and 10. Hirsch rolls to the right, looking, throws across the middle, got a man, first down. Nice catch. Quick coverage by Adena. Coming up was Hayden, but a nice catch. I think it was McDonald.
Nichols,
number not 24, 20. Nichols on the catch. Nice pass by Hirsch, and that'll be a first down. So Huntington overcomes the penalty. Back to get the first down at their own 47-yard line, and a new set of downs as we'll move under 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. 14-12, Adena on top. They move McNeil and McNeil. Two McNeils move to the left side. They run it off the left side. Not much there. And now that's Adena, a good job forcing the big guy Isaac Taylor to go sideways. Not able to get to going north and south, and he only got a yard. 2nd down and 9.
8 carries, 46 yards for Isaac Taylor so far. And, You know, Adena's really doing a better job defensively here, stopping the run.
You know, early on you talked about him not
They've
able
been
to
running the
tackle.
ball
They
awfully
were
well.
Huntington was getting extra yardage instead of 2 yards. They were getting
4th and
5
goal
or
to
6
go. Hurst by himself, going to roll to the right, looks to throw. Now he's got pressure, cuts back the other way, throws over the middle, man wide open, touchdown. Nice read by Hurst. He rolled to the right. Somebody came back across the field right into the goalpost.
Flanker both to the left.
Nichols.
They'll run it.
So,
And now
Jaron talked a lot about when we had them against Eastern, and that was a great read by Hurst, Jaron. He was really in a little bit of trouble, had to stop and come back to his left, and then he had great vision to find Nichols right under the goalpost for the touchdown.
Pretty obvious.
You
know,
false
you
start
Frankie
right
Hirsch a lot of
there.
credit on that play. He had some pressure, used his legs.
The side
He's very
judge, your line judge,
athletic
probably
and
needs to be a
mobile
little bit
and
stronger
saves some
with his
pressure.
whistle to blow the play dead, but it
Extra
definitely
point
was a false
attempt
start
is
right there.
blocked.
5-yard
solidly
mark off,
blocked
so
by
instead of
Adena,
2nd
so
and
no
9,
extra
it'll be
point.
2nd and 14.
Timeout on the
Huntington
field. We
running
have
into some
8:13 to play in the
penalty
first
flags on
quarter.
this series. We're
Huntington
down under
first
7
on the
minutes
board.
to play.
Huntsman 6, Adena nothing. You're listening to the
Hurst,
Tomlinson
flanker to the right,
Insurance.
2 more receivers
SVC
wide right.
in the
Hurst
league.
rolls to the right.
Integrity.
Looking to throw,
It's a small
looking.
word with a
Now he's
big
gonna toss
meaning,
it
and it's
downfield.
one
He's
we
got a
hold
man
dear at
in
Ross
and
County
complete. Oh,
Banking
and a
Center.
flag.
That means we work
I thought that was a good call.
Stressed?
I thought that was a good
Overstimulated?
call. The guy-
Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone,
Yeah,
then
they got
strike a
grabbed
pose
him on
in the
the
selfie
jersey
studio. Chaos, creativity, and
basically held
content.
him from
Let's
running down
get
the field,
messy.
And I thought that was a heck of a flag
That was
right
a
there.
Hurst to Hirsch, and Calvin, the wide receiver. Now, part of it was, I don't know if he'd have been able to get through, but I think Danny had a good point that he got grabbed.
Adena turned the ball over on a fumble on the first play of their first offensive play of the game. Huntington took over to 33 drives. They didn't score on fourth down.
We're right beside the
On a
Adena
3-yard
coaches.
pass
So
play, and they lead it 6-0 after the extra point was blocked.
Yeah, I mean, Calvin, he did
Obviously,
slow
Jaron,
down.
you're on
I
the
will
road.
say that.
Huntington,
But
you
he
wanna get
also,
off
when
to a
he
good
started to
start, and they were able
accelerate, he
take
did get
advantage
held
of that
again.
turnover.
Yeah,
Adena not happy
nice
with the
job by
pass
Huntington,
interference. That gives
taking advantage
back
of the
a
fumble.
first down for
Right
Huntington
there,
in the
they
Adena
started
territory. They'll
at
run
the
it off
plus
the right. Now they give it an
33-yard
end around.
Nice play.
On the carry, you got
Early
5-10
success
down the
from
sidelines,
running the
first
football.
down and out of
Evan
bounds after
Thomas
about 15
and
yards.
Isaac Taylor.
On the reverse, that's
And just like
Nichols
we
on the
saw
carry.
When we saw Huntington earlier in the
Nice
season,
play
Greg.
call right
Yeah,
there
I
by
agree.
Coach Beeler. They've done a nice job. Adena's done a nice job of stopping the run up the middle, and a good fake
Johnson will
handoff
kick
up
it
the
off
middle,
again. Last
and
time he
Nichols
had
found a hole on the outside,
short
18-yard
kick, which
pickup.
I'm like, Jaron, I think it was on
The
purpose.
scrimmage
This
was
time they
picked
created a
up,
line
18
drive,
on the play.
coming down, caught in the air to 35.
They're
Good
inside
return
the
out to the
40,
40 and across the
inside the
40-yard
30
line
actually,
for
at
the
the
Warriors.
25, and again,
Out around the 42. Good job of handling that line drive kick.
first and 10, new set of downs. Call it the 25.
It was handled
of
by
Huntington.
Fisher Schaff of
Everybody knows
Adena. Caught it
Adena
on the
knows their
line.
defense
Great
as
return.
well.
Good field
Readjust.
position to start for
And
Adena.
now Hurst is going to
They're
roll to the
across
right.
their
Look
40.
over the
They're
middle. Got a
actually
man
about the
open.
43
Complete. Down inside
yard
the
line to start
15,
this
near the
series.
10, and maybe
Adena's well
inside the
prepared
10.
on the special teams
That
play
was
so
the big
far.
guy,
They blocked
Carson
an extra
McNeil,
point.
on the
They've
catch,
been
and a
right there
very
on these
accurate
short
pass
kicks
by
to get 'em.
Hirsch.
They've had good starting field position
And
on
I
both
think it's
drives.
goal to go, is it not? I have a
really
hard
need to
time
take
in
it
the
Yeah,
far
I
end
think
of
they're
the
like
field.
at the 7 or 8 yard
Easy.
line.
They don't want to get down by 2
Trailing
scores
the
here.
Man in
Huntington
motion.
trails
Elick, the
14 to
quarterback
12.
in the pistol. Looks quick. Bubble
Man,
screen to the right
Hirsch
side
is
from
so
the
good when
maybe
he
a
gets
couple yards
outside
to
the
the
pocket.
45.
And
That's
22,
Joey
Carson
Francis,
McNeil, such a big target
Francis
out
on
there.
the catch.
Picked up
Let's
about
see if they go back to the run. They're
Yeah, he only
call
got,
it the
I thought he got to
7.
the 45.
Goal
He
to go.
was stepped
Hirsch
out
back
of
in
bounds
the
at the
pistol.
44. So they pick up a yard. Good.
And they'll
Quick
run it
coverage
straight
from
ahead.
Huntington coming
And
up
down near the
quickly on
5,
that.
trying to fight for yardage.
Quick
That's
bubble
not
screen to
Taylor.
the
It's
right
Evan
side.
Thomas this time, number 0.
Second
Looks
down
like
and
he's
9
about
for the Warriors.
Call it the 2.
He comes back out.
On
They're
the
running
far
out of
end.
the pistol. They have a flanker right and one split into the left side. They send a
Minus
flanker in
30,
motion. They
that
give it
was
to him
7,
around the
move
left
it
side to
down,
the
and I think
45,
the right
across the 45,
made
maybe
the
the
2-yard
47.
line.
3 or 4 more yards. Going to bring
5:35
up
to play
third
till
about
halftime.
6.
Huntington trying to get their
Ryan
first
Rawlings,
touchdown
yeah.
and
Grant
retake the lead.
Rawlings
They
on the
trail
carry.
14 to 12. They've not been able to convert an extra point.
3 or 4 yards.
Each team with 2 scores so far.
You call it 3, we'll call it 3rd and
2
6.
receivers split wide
one
to the
on
left.
first
They're
down
at
on
the
the
2.
pass,
Herschel
3
stayed in the
by
pistol.
Rawlings, so 3rd
Thomas,
down
the
and
only
6.
man behind him. Now they move
Those
2
plays can be really
blockers
effective
to the
if
right
there's a hole
side. They
over
run it
there,
to the
Greg, 'cause
right to
that
Taylor.
receiver's
Bucks to
coming
the
in
outside,
motion.
breaks a tackle, and into
If
the
he
end
sees a hole
zone.
and can dart through there.
Nice
he's
run
gonna be
by
tough
Evan
to catch.
Thomas for the
He's got-
touchdown.
He got his head full of steam.
He when he gets
Birchfield,
going
one
full
of the
speed,
inside
he's a tough guy to
linebackers.
bring down.
Almost as tough
For
as Taylor.
Huntington,
Built a little
linebackers
bit
are up
different.
He
there
is.
at the
He's
line
got
of
a better
scrimmage.
burst
Ely
of
rolls to
speed
the
right
right,
there
wants
when
to
he
throw,
sees
still
that
rolling,
hole.
still rolling.
And,
Throws it short,
again,
nice
Huntington
catch.
answers
And
they've
inbounds and
gotta
right at the
figure
first
out
down marker.
what they want to
Oh,
do
Garrison.
here with
Garrison
their extra
giving
point,
him the
2-point
first down.
conversions because, you know,
Rolling roll to the right. Garrison came out. Garrison's got good size.
You're going to find yourself in
He
trouble.
made a nice catch, tiptoed right, kept his feet in bounds, and it was a nice pass by Elick and a great catch by
where they want
Garrison to get the first down for the Warriors.
They want to put
Just a
it to the
rollout
left hash
play with
mark.
some receivers coming
See
at
if that
different
means the
levels,
first
and nice
roll.
job finding Colt Garrison pick
Roll
up
to
the
the
first
right
down.
side.
At the 47 of Huntington. Huntington
They've got
again
Nichols to the right. They've got
8 guys
Calvin
near the line of
Bush to the
scrimmage. They
right.
run a quick trap play up the middle and going to get still
They
pushing
run a tight
forward
end
3 or
as a
4
third
yards.
Receiver. Now they move tight end to the left side. McNeil
Grant
snap to
Rollins.
Hirsch, going to roll to his right side.
Wide
Got a man
open.
coming across and got it.
4 for Rollins.
Well, they flood the
Second
right
down and
side
6.
and they bring the
Nice
tight
push by
end
the
drug
Adena
across from the
offensive
left
line right
side,
there.
and
That's
that
what
was
Adena
they
wants.
score.
They
I
want
think
that
their first
3-4
touchdown
yard
came
run
on a
every
similar play,
And,
and the
nice
catch
job
to
by the
Carson
offensive
McNeil.
line.
2-point conversion is good. Well, we got 5:13 left till halftime. We've already had 5 touchdowns. It's Huntington 20 and Adena 14. The Tomlinson and
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank. Working together, building success.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
Jackson took advantage, broke down and scored. It's third and
broke down and scored.
5. And they're going to run a double reverse. Going to throw. They got the quarterback open, but Adena's going to run it to the 45. They got a lot of room to the 40 and out of bounds. Good speed. They ran a double reverse. Could have been a pass back to the quarterback, but keeping the football all the way around was the wide receiver, and I believe it was Francis. Francis showed great speed there. He could have thrown the ball to his quarterback, but he saw an open field and used his speed to get around the
Turn
corner.
by Adena. Good field position. Back across the field. Breaks another tackle. 45
right
outside
Coach Hurt,
and
he
brought
kinda saw
down.
that Adena
And losing the
had
ball
Huntington
late.
be
I think the
aggressive.
whistle blew. The
Called
official
up the
standing right
reverse
there.
and a nice job by Joey Francis. He had the option to throw, but he saw a lot of green. in front.
Hayden on the
Good
return.
pickup. Now they're going to run it again and quickly
Adena,
pulling down from
Adena's got some
behind for a
breakaway
loss.
speed.
Adena
Yeah, they got some nice
caught in the
athletes
backfield.
too.
Good
and
penetration that time. Jared Johnson got in there.
I just feel like maybe what we should do with this game is just go ahead and give both teams the football like the 50-yard line. But both teams are starting near midfield almost every drive, and
He's got one fumble.
you know that
He's got a 0-yard run and then a negative
you
1
gotta
yard run right there.
if you're trying to get in the
Second
playoffs,
and
if you're
11,
Huntington, you
the
got to
ball
figure
is
that out.
spotted.
Adena
Right on the
first and
25
10.
of
We got a
Huntington.
flag down. And
Offsides
on Huntington.
Elick stays with
have been
the
somebody
pistol
lined up in
formation.
neutral.
3 wide to the left. They want to throw it. Again, a
Fifth
quick
penalty
screen
for
out to the left
45
side.
yards
Looking
for
for
the
running
Huntsmen.
room. 25, 20, 18. On the loose to the 15. Breaks loose to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Adena.
Fisher Schaaf.
Schaaf. Fisher Schaaf made the catch. It was just a quick hitch pattern. All he did was turn inside 1 yard down the field. They got it to him quickly. He got a block, and then he used his speed. And, you know, I was impressed with Huntington's speed the last time we had him, Jaron. But I'll tell you what, Adena's
quick handoff.
shown great speed. Francis and Schaaf both can really get after it speed-wise, and they tied at 6 apiece, looking to take the lead.
Yeah,
Trap
a nice
play
little
right up
quick
off the
pass
left
to
guard.
Schaaf on the outside, broke a tackle or two,
He's
and
got 5
sprinted to the
carries
end
and
zone.
4 yards.
Extra point kick is up. It's plenty long,
Again,
and it
that's
is
not
up
where
and
it
good.
is a big play, but
Timeout on the
it's
field.
been
Each team has put a
outside
score on the board, and
pass.
4:51 to go first quarter. Adena 7, Huntington 6. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week.
Loose. Other than that, they've not got a lot inside. Now they have second and short.
Stressed, overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
Yeah, Williams has been a little spark plug for the Adena offense back at running back. And right now, if you're Coach Hurt, what you're really trying to do, you want to score a touchdown, but you want to get this clock as close to halftime as possible. You don't want to give Huntington the ball back with an opportunity to score and get the ball back.
been watching SBC Game of the Week, presented to you by
threw the timing off, like you said, and third down and get the throw out there. Gave the defensive end from Huntington time to.
Then he just hit Schaff, and Schaff broke some tackles for a 25-yard touchdown.
I think he may have.
Adena takes the kick return. Look out on the right sidelines to the 40, down the sidelines 50. Adena 40, knocked down of bounds, and maybe the 39. And that's Carson McNeil. He's an athlete.
Slot receiver.
He got a full head of steam.
Put a man in motion.
I think he stepped out
They
about
run another
49,
double reverse. With the football is Francis around the right side. He's got room, but there's a penalty flag. There's an illegal block.
Yeah, block in the back.
Another short field for Huntington right here.
That was a play they ran earlier for big yardage with Francis on the double. They hand it off. He gives it on the reverse to Francis coming from the other side. He got big 20-plus yardage the first time in the first quarter. That time there was a penalty, and it's going to be from the spot of the foul. It'll move back and put Adena back fairly far.
The bad part about that penalty, Greg, I don't think that hold was necessary. I think he already turned the
breaking loose up the middle, and good yardage near. It will be a first down, about a 14-yard pickup. I think that was Taylor again, right up the middle, and he broke through.
It's not from the end of the play. It's the spot of the foul.
Yes, that should
Again,
be a spot foul.
he's that kid that he's kind of looking for contact. No huddle here by the Huntsman.
Who set it down? They give it again. Taylor right side follows a little bit.
When it's in the backfield, it's
moves
forward
for another
from the spot of the foul. The holding took place in the offensive
behind one of his
backfield.
blockers and kept the feet moving, moved a little bit to his left, and he'll get
Adena actually
second
benefited
down
from
and
this
6
right
in
there.
Adena territory.
They should be back
Taylor's
about
doing a
5
really
more
good job.
yards.
He's getting right behind his offensive lineman and just putting his hand on their back and then waiting for
second
that
down,
hole,
they-
and he's popping through there.
At the 30-yard line, 2nd and 6 to 30 of Adena. 7-6 Adena leads it. Hirschkall signals in the pistol. And they'll run it again. Not a lot of running room, but again, moving forward. Off. It could be an incomplete pass. Good job. I think it was McNeil who got a hand on it.
Yeah, that was Carson, I believe.
Carson McNeil.
That was a good play call right there. It's going to be a throwback screen pass to, I believe it was Hunter Williams, who they were trying to throw the ball to. And Carson's such a big kid. He got his arms up there and tipped it up in the air. Almost got intercepted, but I tell you what, that's a big stop for Huntington. It stops the clock. They're going to get the ball back with about 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
Good field position for Adena, but I think, Coach Hurt, you don't want to – it's 4th and 12. You don't make it, you give a short field to Huntington, so you'd rather play the field position game, make them go maybe 80 yards in not much time. I think Huntington making sure that this ball is punted. Good snap. And the kick is away, and it's blocked. Huntington blocks it.
44.
McNeil picks it up, gets downfield, and would have had a touchdown, but he fell down.
Wow.
McNeil blocked it, picked it up himself, but he was moving forward. He couldn't gain. He was going to get a touchdown. There was only one Adena. Only the punter was back there. And he had a touchdown on a block punt, but he lost his footing. He was falling forward, but he did get the block, and it is going to be great field position for the Huntsmen.
That is a big play right there. You know, Adena scored 2 touchdowns, but they've also forced a fumble and blocked a punt on defense and sets them up at the plus 25-yard line with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first half.
Huntington will have it at the 25, and that was McNeil who got the recovery and the block. Jackson McNeil. Let's see if Huntington can take advantage. They move Jackson McNeil and Carson McNeil to the left side. They're going to run it on first down. Taylor straight ahead, 25, 23, maybe 22, maybe got 3 yards. Clock's going to move to the 2-minute mark.
That's the play right there, Greg. If you're Adena, you've got to be careful.
because if they let that block punt turn into a Huntington touchdown right here, Huntington's going to have a 2-touchdown lead and get the ball.
Yes. They get to receive the kickoff, start the second half.
Yep.
Good point. 25, well, let's call a second and a short 7 on the carry there by Taylor. 2 receivers to the right. I'll see if they come back. They've got McNeil to the left. They like to bring the end across. If they throw it, no, they go straight ahead. Taylor fighting for yardage. It's not going to be a first down, but he gained another 3 or 4. Going to be third and short. Clock moving to 122, 121.
Huntington's not really showing any sense of urgency.
No,
I
they're
believe
not.
they have all 3 timeouts left. My guess is they're going to try to get this first down, then maybe use the timeout and be a little more aggressive.
So they've ran it inside 2 times in a row with Taylor. Now they have third and a long 3. Hirsch split to the right side. Also Nichols to the right. They roll to the
There he
right.
is
They
again.
want to throw it wide open. Same thing and almost picked off. They had McNeil. That's what they've been running a lot to Carson McNeil, coming across on a drag pattern from the tight end from the left side, coming across to the right. But one of the Adena Warriors that time stepped in front of him and looked like he had the interception, got his hands on it, couldn't get it, but it's going to bring up 4th down for the Huntsmen.
I think the ball got tipped by a Adena defensive lineman because Carson McNeil was wide open. That is 3 times they've ran that play, Greg, and Carson has snuck out behind those linebackers and been open. That time, Hirsch couldn't get the ball to him.
Calvin Hirsch split to the right side. They're going to run it, roll to the right again with Hirsch. Looking. Now he throws it across the middle and incomplete. Had it in his hands. Good defensive play by the Warriors, and they're not going to allow Huntington to score. I think it was Thomas that attempted to catch it, got his hands on it, but Adena also got a hand in there on it. Check that. I think on the reception was intended for Calvin Hirsch, number 10.
The Adena, I didn't catch the number. Somebody saw him standing wide open, and as Hirsch caught the ball, he started to turn. A nice job by the Adena defender to knock it out of his hands to cause the incompletion. So 47 seconds left here in the second quarter.
So the block punt, Huntington not able to take advantage of the block punt and getting the ball at the 25 of Adena. Good job. Just mentioned that. Had they scored, they get the ball to start the second half. Now what will Adena do with not a lot of time? And they're going to put the ball in the air. They want to throw it down the middle. They throw it deep down the middle. It's intercepted at midfield. Fighting for yardage is Hirsch, and he's going to be brought down right there to 45.
Calvin Hirsch, the freshman.
Oh, Adena attempted to go for it deep down the middle. Good coverage by Huntington, and Calvin Hirsch, the freshman, intercepts it. It'll be at the 46 of Adena, and right back it goes.
Both defenses have kind of stepped up here late in the second quarter after both teams were scoring at will to start the game. So Huntington's going to start at the plus 46. You got 36 seconds left to go here in the first half.
36.3. We'll see if Huntington wants to do. Hirsch is a dangerous guy, especially if he gets loose. He's going to roll to the right. Looking. Now he's going to run with it. 45. Cuts back at the 40. Back to the backside. 35-30. Down to the 20. Down the sidelines and out of bounds inside, I believe, the 20. Down to maybe around the 20-yard line.
Let's see. I think they got him at the 15. 31-yard run. That's the thing you got to love about Frank Hirsch. He's very athletic. He's very quick. He showed his speed right there, kind of ran through a hole, cut it back to the backside, 31-yard run, and it puts him right back in scoring position.
Down to 25.6. I'm not sure they've used a timeout yet.
I don't think they have either.
So Hirsch, first time he's really hurt Adena with his legs, but he took off that time in a great run. From the 15, looks to throw, throws across the middle, got a man open, down at the 10, fighting for yardage down near the goal line, and he got in for the touchdown. Just a look-in pattern about to the 8 and the rest of the way, bullying his way in for the Huntsmen on the pass from Hirsch.
Number 8.
I'm not sure who caught the ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
A touchdown on the pass from Hirsch, 15-yard touchdown pass. makes it 26-14. They'll go for two again. They put the ball in the left hash mark. Last time they converted a two-point conversion, it was that crossing pattern, drag pattern with the tight end Carson McNeil coming from left across the field with Hirsch rolling to the right. Looks like the same formation. Hirsch rolls to the right, looks, may run with it. Now he throws it in the corner, got his man.
Dalton Nichols.
And Nichols makes the catch inside the pylon for the two-point conversion. So Huntington with 8 more points, and they double the score with 18 seconds. It's the Huntsmen 28 and Adena 14. And Jaron, what was it, 40-some seconds? You stopped them on downs, and you had a long way to go, but Adena was aggressive, threw the interception, gave it right back to him.
Yeah, it was. I like the aggressiveness, but, you know, you gave up an interception, and Huntington scores in, I think it was 2 plays.
Yeah, Hirsch ran, and, they came right back. He ran to the 15, and the next play they hit the quick look-in pattern, hit it for about 9-10 yards down around the 6, and the rest of the way the receiver went. I'm still trying to make sure the right person we got.
We'll figure out who that guy is here at halftime. Apologies. But
No,
really,
if it was 0, obviously it was Evan Thomas, but
it looked like number 8.
So they block a punt. And looked like Huntington was going to score. Adena did a great job on a fourth down pass, a great defensive play, knocking it down. But then came back with a long pass, intercepted, gave Huntington one more chance, and in 40-some seconds they took it in for the touchdown. And they lead it 28-14, set to kick off here. So the kick this time, high end-over-end kick, and Hayden catches it. Almost lost his footing. Now comes back across the middle, hit once, hit twice, and now it's going to be brought down right across the 30-yard line. That was Mosser on the return, not Hayden.
11 seconds left. You got to wonder what Adena is going to do, if they're going to
11.3 seconds.
Take a knee here, or are they going to try to score again?
I've got my roster, and it was number 8, and
I don't see a name for number 8.
I'm still looking for number 8 for the Huntsmen, so we'll get that at halftime. Not included on our roster here. So see what Adena elects to do. They're going to run the ball here, and they got 5. Back to the outside. Nice run. 10, 15, down the sidelines and knocked out of bounds at midfield. And Hayden on the carry. He's slippery down to 3.5 seconds. He did get out of bounds. Adena will have one more play right at midfield. Actually spotted to 49 on a nice carry by Hayden. First down for the Warriors.
3.5 seconds to go here. You got to think probably like some type of Hail Mary play, something like that. I'm not sure how far Elliott can throw the ball. Maybe a hook and ladder.
Huntington playing back. 3.5 seconds. Should be in minus a penalty, the last play. And they're going to run that double reverse again to Hayden, looking to run, now looking to throw, being pressured. He gets away from McNeil. Is going to take off with it. Up the middle and brought down on a nice tackle to end the half after about an 8-yard gain. Excellent tackle there by that was Isaac Taylor, who made a great tackle on the very quick and dangerous runner there, Grady Hayden. Well, that will end the first half. And at halftime and intermission here in Frankfort, Ohio, the halftime score, Huntington 28 and Adena 14, a 2-touchdown lead for the Huntsmen. Let's take a timeout. You're listening to the Thomas Insurance SVC Game of the Week. We'll come back and recheck the scoring and stats.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do what's right, even when no one's looking. We treat people the way we want to be treated, volunteer in our communities, and keep a watchful eye to safeguard our customers. At Ross County Banking Center, we strive to do that better every day. Find more information on our website, vcnbfamily.bank, or visit one of our physical locations. Member FDIC.
Oh, my mower won't start. I know what to do. Take it to Matheny's Small Engine Repair, located on Savageville School Road in between Jackson and Chillicothe. Matheny's is now an official Encore dealer with both new commercial and residential models on display. They'll get you up and mowing.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
And truthfully, they deserve that.
All at Kingston National Bank.
Back at halftime here at Bostic Field in Frankfurt, the Adena Warriors hosting the Huntsmen in an SVC matchup during week number 9. Back and forth with the offenses. It's 28-14 Huntington up at halftime. Adena fumbled on their first offensive play of the game. Huntington took advantage, a 33-yard drive. It finished on a fourth down play, a 3-yard pass from Hirsch to Nichols. 8:13 to play first quarter, 6-0. Extra point kick was blocked. Then back came Adena driving down the field, began at their 43, and a 57-yard touchdown drive, a 25-yard pass to Schaff. Extra point kick good, 7-6, 4:50 left in the first quarter. That was where we were at the end of the first quarter. Started the second quarter, first play of the second quarter. Hirsch with a 3-yard touchdown run. That might have been on fourth down as well. And that made it 12-7. Again, the extra point failed. It was 11, just 5 seconds into the second quarter. Huntington up 12-7. Adena came right back on their next drive. They broke open a run right up the middle. Again, good field position. 29-yard run by Williams for the touchdown. The extra point kick good. 9:50 till halftime. 14-12 Adena. Back came Huntington, started at their own 36-yard line, drove it down the field. Thomas on a 2-yard touchdown run, a 2-point conversion pass to McNeil, made it 20-14, a little over 5 minutes to play, and Huntington back on top by 6. Adena then had the ball. They punted the ball around midfield, but the punt was blocked. Huntington grabbed it, almost took it into the end zone, but fell. But they had 1st and 10 at the 25, but they ran out of downs. Did not. The last pass was knocked down by the Adena defense, and Adena held, and there was less than a minute to play. However, Adena, from their own around 25, on the very first play, tried to throw the ball deep down the middle, was intercepted by Calvin Hirsch right at midfield. And, well, we called it the 46 of Adena. The interception gave Huntington one more chance with less than a minute to play, and a big run, a scramble run by Hirsch down to the 15. On the next play, a 15-yard touchdown pass, and we think it was to Cooper, L.J. Cooper, that made the catch. 2-point conversion pass to Nichols, 28-14. That was with 18 seconds remaining, and Adena pushed the lead out to 2 scores. Jaron?
Yeah, let's take a look at some stats here. First off, for Huntington, in the first half, they ran the ball 25 times for 155 yards. Good balance running the football. Isaac Taylor, 10 carries, 52 yards. Evan Thomas, 9 carries, 37 yards. Frankie Hirsch, 3 carries, 37 yards. 31 of those coming on that play right before the score at halftime. And Jackson McNeil, 2 carries for 11 yards on the tush push. And Drew Nichols had 1 carry for 18 yards on an end-around play there early in the second quarter. Throwing the football, Frankie Hirsch, 4 of 7, 52 yards with 2 touchdown passes. 5 penalties for Huntington in the first half for 45 yards. Had them for 9 first downs. They had 2 forced turnovers on defense. They had the fumble recovery on the first play of the game by Adena, and then the freshman Calvin Hirsch had a very big interception with about 45 seconds to go there in the second half to give Huntington the ball back, and they went in for the score. Flipping over to Adena, 14 carries for the Warriors for 98 yards. They did have the 1 fumble loss we just talked about, and a balanced running attack for Adena also. Hunter Williams leads the way. 3 carries for 40 yards. He had the big 29-yard carry, 29-yard carry for touchdown there in the second quarter. And Grady Hayden, 7 carries for 28 yards. Grant Rawlings, 3 carries for 9 yards. And then they also had Joey Francis on an end-around reverse, 1 carry for 19 yards. He also had 1 other carry, got called back by a penalty. It was a nice run, too. It was about 10 or 15 yards. Throwing the football, I've been really impressed with Ethan Elick and his ability to throw and get out in space and roll out. He is 5 for 8 in the first half, 48 yards, 25 of those coming on the touchdown pass to Fisher Schaff. He has thrown 1 touchdown pass and 1 interception. You sit here and you start looking at the receiving for Adena. Fisher Schaff, 2 catches, 33 yards. Joey Francis, 1 catch for 1 yard. Colt Garrison, 1 catch for 6 yards. So it's been an interesting game, Greg. After the first play and Huntington recovers the fumble and they go down a score, you almost think, ooh, maybe Huntington's going to run away with this. But Adena bounced back and went down the field and scored. And Huntington, they responded quickly, like you just said, and kind of went back and forth. And then really, the end of the first half, you just wonder if maybe that's going to kind of do Adena in. That they got a nice stop on 4th down when Huntington was on offense, but their very next play on offense, they throw the interception. And Frankie Hirsch goes 31 yards. He finds the hole, cuts back to the left side of the field. And then he finds L.J. Cooper on a 15-yard slant pass, gives Huntington that 28-14 lead with, I think there's about 15 seconds to go. And Huntington's going to get the ball back. And this is going to be a huge first possession when we come back on the third quarter. Huntington, if Huntington's able to score a touchdown, they could take a 3-score lead. Adena really needs that stop, get the ball back, and put some more points on the board if they want to get back in the bowl game.
Well, those are our stats. 28-14, our halftime score in favor of the Huntsmen here at Adena. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week. We're going to take another time out. We'll come back, and we'll have our halftime interview, our program that we normally have. And we'll do that after this timeout and break.
Looking for a hometown favorite? Stop by the Lunchbox in Chillicothe, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. From hearty all-day breakfast to a variety of wraps, subs, and paninis, there's something for everyone. Don't forget the fresh lemon shake-ups, perfect with any meal. Whether you're craving a classic Italian loaded Reuben or a warm bowl of soup, you'll find it here. Located at 24 East Walnut Street, we offer carry-out, delivery, and even office catering. Call 740-775-8624 today.
Looking for a job that works with your life? Your local McDonald's is now hiring. Join a team that's all about flexibility, growth, and a fun, fast-paced work environment.
At McDonald's, we're more than just burgers. We're part of the community. From supported local events to helping neighbors in need, we're proud to give back.
Apply today at your local Chillicothe or Waverly McDonald's or McHire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it.
We are at the intermission of tonight's game you're listening to on our high school football coverage on Total Media Sports. I'm Marty Bannister, and this is High School Football Tonight. We'll get you back to the game you are listening to coming up here shortly with second half action. Earlier in the week, if you missed it, a rather landmark lawsuit was filed against the Ohio High School Athletic Association by a student-athlete at Wayne High School. Javier Brown, who was one of the top recruits in the state of Ohio and in the nation. He is already committed to play for Ohio State. But his family filed a lawsuit against the OHSAA because of their policy against NIL for student athletes in the state of Ohio. Ohio is just one of 6 states that does not allow NIL, name, image, and likeness, for high school athletes and for high school students in the state. Dr. Scott Grant is with Triple Threat Leadership, a firm that deals with helping schools all across the nation and states all across the nation in dealing with NIL for high school athletes. I reached out to him earlier this week on our Afternoon Huddle show to get his thoughts on this. He's a basketball coach in the northwest part of the state and has a very deep insight and works with schools and administrators across the country in dealing with NIL. I take it you weren't surprised when you saw the lawsuit filed.
No, I mean, when it went up for a referendum vote in 2022 and it got voted down, to be honest, it was the first state that had ever voted it down. There's only one other state that where that has happened, which is Wisconsin, which they actually just approved it this past year. But when that occurred, I don't think it was that people hated the idea of NIL. They weren't prepared with a policy. They weren't prepared for enforcement. They weren't prepared for a lot of different things. And I don't think the OHSA could answer the questions that the schools had. But if you watch the transition of NIL through college and down to the high school ranks, at some point it was going to be steamrolled in, right? Whether you voted in, whether you get sued, at this current juncture, at some point you're going to have to deal with this, because at base level, and this is what people don't understand, NIL has nothing to do with athletic participation, right? Like, the whole goal of NIL permittance was to allow student athletes the same rights that other students have, right? Their entrepreneurial component. It has nothing to do with their athletic participation or their athletic ability. Now, do we know that it does? Yes, but that's the issue, and that's the concern about the policies and those types of pieces, where high school NIL and college NIL are not the same thing. Ohio is one of the last ones that is kind of holding out a little bit, but we knew it was going to come to a juncture where they're either going to pass something or you're going to get sued. And now that time is kind of here.
It's interesting because I've had a number of conversations with Executive Director Doug Ute about this topic. And one of the things he said to me, Scott, was we want to make sure we are the ones who are making the decisions. We don't want a lawsuit determining. We don't want a state legislator determining how we do this. Were they caught behind the 8 ball with this? I mean, they had to know it was coming as well, too.
I mean, if they didn't, I would be highly surprised. This exact same scenario happened in North Carolina last year when Faison Brandon's family sued the North Carolina High School Association. Let's just hope what happened there doesn't happen here, where the North Carolina Department of Ed took away pretty much all the power of North Carolina's High School Association. So my frustration with that comment is really, dude, it went up in 2022. It got voted down. What have you been doing for the last 3 years in preparation for that? I help states write policy in regards to this all the time, right? I dive in. The toughest part about high school is understanding there's 44 different states that permit this with pretty much 44 different policies. Now, there are a few that have identical policies, and honestly, that's because I helped write them. So like, my concern with that statement is, well, if you wanted to be proactive and lead in that space, you had 3 years to kind of figure it out and support and have conversations with your athletic administrators and with your schools about, if this comes, what does it need to look like here, from development, enforcement, compliance, and all of the other pieces, so that people aren't scared to death, which rightfully so. I'd be scared to death too. I was a former AD. What's going on right now? They haven't even seen a policy yet that supposedly there's going to be an emergency vote on. Like, that shouldn't be happening.
Dr. Scott Grant visiting with us from Triple Threat Leadership. They deal a great deal with NIL, name, image, and likeness. And Dr. Grant, of course, very heavily involved in high school athletics, a basketball coach in the northwest part of the state, and works with athletic directors and schools across Ohio and across the nation, as you've heard, in dealing with NIL. Regarding that situation with the OHSA, have they reached out to you at all for help?
They have not. I've offered numerous times, They have not. So that'll be a next question, right? A lot of times states will hire a NIL preferred educator. And to be honest, I'm extremely close to Jerry Snodgrass. He was my former boss. He's a mentor of mine. He's like a second father to me. I don't know. Maybe that might be the reason why, but at the end of the day, they have not contacted me to support them, even though I'm more than willing to, because I do this for a lot of other states around the country. And this one probably matters the most to me.
You mentioned how it is a scary thing. Is that the biggest I guess, maybe reason that administrators across the state of Ohio are very hesitant to embrace this because we just don't know what we're getting into right now?
Well, yeah, I think you have no idea really of what's going to happen. There's a lot of, things that occurred even at the college level that no one ever had a conversation about or even thought was going to occur. I think the only way to curb that fear is if the leading organization is really clear on, hey, here's the policy, here's how you're keeping NIL separate from athletic participation, here's how the enforcement's going to work, here's how, if there's going to be a disclosure, here's what the policy means, here's what every line means. So, yeah, there's some serious fear in regards to, hey, we don't know what's going to happen. And even when you look at the lawsuit, the kid's claiming, and again, missed opportunities on $100,000 and NIL valuation. NIL valuation is not really a thing. And if he's only focusing on his ability to be a student athlete, that's not what NIL actually is, right? Like that's not how it works at the high school level. So like you can't fault high school ADs who are watching what's happening at the college level and say, like, why would we ever want this at the high school space, right? And to be honest, in many of the states that I work in, it hasn't been a major issue because the state association is very engaged with their ADs, with their schools. It's very clear if there's a question, if there's an enforcement issue, they're on it. Like, they don't mess around. Mm-hmm. But that is clear from the front end, where now I think you're right. That fear, I would be scared because you have no idea what's going to happen, right? Like, there's no clarity to what this looks like in the state of Ohio with 800 and some schools, thousands of student athletes, and it's probably going to get thrown onto the AD's lap where, like, hey, you're in charge of compliance just like any other. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's not what this is.
Dr. Scott Grant with Triple Threat Leadership, dealing with NIL in the state of Ohio. And again, the lawsuit filed earlier this week against the OHSAA. There could be an emergency vote on the NIL policy in the state coming up within the next 7 to 10 days. We invite you to stay with us. High school football tonight continues here at the intermission of the game you are listening to on Total Media Sports. We'll continue after this timeout. This
Integrity.
Is
it's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do what's right, even when no one's looking. We treat people the way we want to be treated, volunteer in our communities, and keep a watchful eye to safeguard our customers. At Ross County Banking Center, we strive to do that better every day. Find more information on our website, vcnbfamily.bank, or visit one of our physical locations. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the intermission of the game you are listening to here on Total Media Sports. I'm Marty Bannister. This is high school football tonight. We are in week number 9 of the high school football season. Let's take a quick look back at some of the top performances from week number 8 of this 2025 season, involving some of the area schools we cover for you all across Total Media Sports. Athens' Anthony Sutton carried the ball 15 times for 214 yards, scored 4 touchdowns, and Weston Wheatley had his 8th interception of the season as the Bulldogs beat Wellston 48-7 last Friday in Tri-Valley Conference Ohio Division action. Of course, Athens now 8-0, one of the games you're listening to tonight across Total Media Sports. They have that big showdown coming up next week with Nelsonville York. The Ironton Fighting Tigers beat Fairland 70-13 last Friday night, and they scored in a variety of ways. In addition to rushing for 3 touchdowns and throwing for 4 more, the Fighting Tigers caused a fumble on a punt, which was returned for a touchdown. They blocked a punt for a touchdown and caused a fumble on a kickoff return, which was recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. McDermott Northwest senior quarterback Jake Brown carried the football 27 times for 133 yards and a touchdown, and completed 11 of the 13 passes he threw for 144 yards and 3 scores. In the Mohawks' 36-13 Southern Ohio Conference Division II victory over Portsmouth West, Carson Christian carried the ball 18 times for 163 yards as well for the Mohawks. It was their first win over the Senators since 1999. Anthony Aaron carried the ball 15 times for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns in Valley's 48-7 SOC Division II victory over Oak Hill. The 6-2 start, Valley's best 8-game start to a season since 2015, when the Indians went 9-1 in the regular season. And Portsmouth senior quarterback Marquez Locklear threw for 205 yards, completing 10 of 13 passes and a couple of scores. Junior running back Fernando Pashas carried the ball 13 times for 131 yards and 2 scores as the Trojans rolled past Rock Hill last Friday, 48-7. Portsmouth stretched their winning streak over the Redmen to 9 games, as the two did not play during the COVID 2020 campaign. Those are some of the highlights from week number 8 of the high school football season. And again, stay with us. Second half action of the game you are listening to all across Total Media Sports is coming up here in moments. This has been High School Football Tonight. I'm Marty Bannister. Thanks for joining us. Second half action coming up on Total Media Sports.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
Catch every play with Total Media Sports, your home for local high school athletics. From football and basketball to baseball, softball, and more, we bring you the action live. Total Media Sports, where local sports live.
Rick Bigham and Jaron Cox back with you, almost ready to a couple minutes away from the second half kickoff. Huntington will receive the second half kickoff, leading here at halftime 28-14 over the Warriors around the area. London winning big again, 37-0 over Tecumseh. Clinton Massey beating Western Brown 30-0. In the SVC, Zane Trace 48-0 at halftime over Paint Valley. Also in the SVC, this is a bit of a surprise. Not that Westfall is winning, but they are pounding Piketon. Westfall 33-7 over Piketon at the half. Hillsboro leading Washington Courthouse 14-7 at the half in the FAC. Also up in the mid-state at the half, Circleville 42, Liberty Union 14. It is Jackson in the battle of the FAC. We mentioned earlier, Jackson 21-20 over Miami Trace at the half. Here's 28-14 in favor of Huntington. Waverly losing to Northwest. The tight one 34-28 in an offensive showdown there at halftime. Waverly down by 6. Unioto no problem at Southeastern, 42-0 Sherman's at the half. Chillicothe 29-8 near the halftime over McLean back in the FAC. And a battle in the Mid-State Buckeye, probably a battle for the eventual championship. It looks like Bloom Carroll leading Hamilton Township 14-7. So some of the scores around the area. Our game next week, of course, will be back at Unioto. A chance that Sherman's winning tonight. And maybe a tough battle for them because they will have Westfall. And Westfall no slouch. Well, you know, Westfall was leading Zane Trace at halftime earlier this year. And Westfall winning big over Piketon tonight. And that is how Unioto will finish next week.
It's kind of interesting that Westfall Piketon score, like you said, Greg. Not necessarily surprised Westfall.
Yeah, it's at Westfall. I thought that might be in it a little bit, but yeah.
Piketon's they've had the turnover bug here a lot this year. You know, I think Gullion's had 10 interceptions, and you know I'm not sure how many fumbles, but from everything I've been hearing, that they've been turning the ball over an awful lot, and you know that's kind of what's bit them this year. They played really well as a freshman, and you know, most of those kids are seniors now, and you're expecting big things, and just turnovers are hurting them.
Landon Neff, one of the people back deep for Huntington. It's a line drive bouncing kick. Grabbed, now fumbled. Picked back up by Huntington. Out across the right side. A little bit of running room to the 35. Up to the 40. Down the sidelines. And almost stayed in bounds. That was what we just talked about. Really a little bit of a mix-up as he fumbled the kickoff, but then came across field and got Landon Neff with a great return. You mentioned this in the first half. Teams are just getting great field position off their kickoff for special teams tonight.
Greg, think about this. Huntington's had the football 6 times. This is the 6th time they've had the ball. They've started in their own territory 1 time, 1 possession. They've been in plus territory 5 of the 6 possessions, and they're really giving their offense a short field, and that's definitely aided them in getting 4 touchdowns here in that first half.
Excellent point, no doubt about it. They're going to start this at the Adena 42-yard line, leading 28-14. They'll go with, they put McNeil at a flanker. Now, as they do all the time, they'll move the strength to the left side. McNeil run it straight ahead, 42-40, and not much there. As one of the linemen got pushed back, and now so Taylor on the carry. Not much there. Maybe got a yard, 42 to the 41.
You know, I feel like at some point, when Huntington shifts like that, Adena's shifting their defense too. Yes. And I feel like at one point before this game's over, Huntington may catch the Adena defense still running and catch a big hole right through there on the left side somewhere.
Well, they like to run you had Thomas and Taylor running the football. That's their strength. But I tell you, when Hirsch is loose and he can scramble and his accuracy throwing, their strength tonight, their big plays have come passing.
Yes.
A little bit of movement, but now Hirsch is going to run it himself to the 40, back inside the 4. Oh, we got hit pretty well that time, coming up quickly, making a big hit. And that was number 5. That was the quarterback on the other side. Ethan Elick, who come up and made the stop.
We're going to have a holding penalty. Let's see. Are they going to move him back 10 yards? Or are they going to decline it and make it third down?
About 3. It's going to. They're going to move him back. So, penalty again against Huntington. Huntington's had quite a few flags tonight. Of course, Adena had a big call on an interference call, but
Greg, I feel like they missed the spot again on this. I feel like they went 10 yards from the end of that run instead of where the actual holding penalty
they've
was.
done that 3 times tonight. I mean, we need to double check on that. Nichols split out to the left. Going to be second about 15 or 16. Hirsch rolls to the left. Now he throws to the sidelines and got his man on the sidelines. That's Nichols. And he picks up about 10. So it's going to be third down, but a nice pass from Hirsch, rolling to his left that time and then making a pass. Hirsch just went down to one knee, caught it, and was immediately out of bounds. Yeah, maybe about 8 on the play where they spot him out. It's going to be third down and 7.
Definitely a lot more manageable than what it was. And, you know, that's the first time they've had Hirsch really roll out to his left. I feel like they did that a lot against Beaver Eastern earlier in the year, and he would come back to the right.
On third down, going to go back. He's got pressure, rolling to the right, a whole lot of pressure. Scrambles, goes back to his left, gets away again, now throws the ball and just threw it away out of bounds. Well, he ran a lot of yardage right and to the left and all around.
I think it was a good job right there by Frankie just to get rid of the football. And that's a big stop for the Adena defense right there. They needed that. Huntington brings out the punt team. And Adena's going to have a chance to get the ball back and put some points on the board and possibly make it a one-score game.
Hirsch is through. So the Huntsmen couldn't overcome the penalty. Now they get somebody not out there that they bring out to help block on the offensive line. Somebody was missing. And they'll punt the ball. Standing about midfield, the punter, and he gets a low line drive coming down, hits it about the 20, takes a bounce down inside, and now down near the goal line.
Nice
job by Isaac Taylor to get to let it inside the 5-yard line.
That's on the 1, I believe, Greg. That was great hustle by the big fella. Isaac Taylor get down there and diving on the ball. And well, maybe it's the 2. It's hard to tell from where we're at, but 98, 99 yards to go for the Warriors right here to try to get back in the game.
Well, Adena, their first possession of the third quarter. Only took a couple minutes off the clock, Huntington did on that drive. Elick in his own end zone and hands it off to the right side. A battle to line of scrimmage, pushing, shoving, and a lot of people in on that scrum and maybe a couple yards out to the 4. Hayden on the carry.
I feel like when Adena had a lot of success in that first half, they got the ball in Fisher Schaaf's hands and Joey Francis's hands. I know when you're kind of pinned back at the goal line here, it's hard to get the ball outside to your playmakers, but I think Adena needs to try to do that here to get some breathing room.
They come out. Pushed it out from the 2 to the 3, second down to 9. Elick standing in his end zone with a pistol, looking and hands it off up the middle. Running room, fighting for yardage and a first down, still moving the pile. And Hayden on the carry.
15-yard pickup.
So that's a big first down. Got him out of the shadows of their own goalpost. Under 9 minutes to play, third quarter. Still 28-14. Huntington got the ball first, leading by 14, but after a great kickoff return, couldn't get much going after a penalty hurt them.
2 big things on that play, Greg. Number 1, gets them out of their end zone, and a nice burst right there by Hayden, a 15-yard pickup.
Low snap, having trouble now, going to go back. Now there's a penalty flag, and now going down to one knee. Falling down is Elick. He tried to get back up, but his knee went down as he picked up the football. There also was a flag quickly on the play. The bad snap takes him back in around the 5-yard line. Maybe I just saw was a fumble when they throw the marker. That's what it was. They threw the marker that the ball was on the ground.
Just kind of a low snap right there. Looked like maybe the ball went through Elick's legs, and he tried to pick it up and kind of bobbled it again a little bit. And I think when he put the ball down on the ground, his knee went down also. And second and forever for Adena.
Getting deep in their own territory. They want to throw it. Now scrambling to the right. Elick got away once. Now he's looking again, trying to get away a second time, and now he's going to be drugged down back around the 10-yard line.
That's the goal line.
Is that the goal line? I can't see from the far side. Yeah, he was close then to a safety. Oh.
An official runs over, and
I think they're calling a face mask against Huntington. Well, Huntington's really
a Huntington player off the field.
Personal foul on the Huntsman.
They had Elick back around the goal line, and then so the Markoff was back near the goal line. It'll bring it out. I don't know if it'll be enough for a first down or not.
Well,
that was the far side. I couldn't tell what was going on. I don't know if it was a face mask or a late hit, or
it was
they were
something
trying
after
to get
the play.
Quarterback trying to get the quarterback down.
And
Coach Beeler's taking a couple of kids out for Huntington. Are they not happy if you got a chance to pin a team back at the goal line and a penalty there?
After the 15-yard penalty, it's still 3rd and 12 here.
3 receivers split to the left side. Not enough yardage for a first down off the penalty. They want to throw. They throw way out to the left side, and they get it out to the wide receiver, bouncing around and now brought down. The clock will continue to run. They picked up 5 or 6 yards. Joey Francis on the catch. Just sent the first guy deep. Francis down and out. Picked up some good yardage to give him a little bit of room, and now they're going to face 4th and about 6.
Yeah, you're pretty far deep in your own territory here. You got to punt the football. 4th down and 6 at your own 26.
Back deep for the Huntsman, number 20, Nichols.
So Nichols back deep.
Blake Cottle back to punt.
Line of scrimmage is just across the 20 for Adena. Now they get all lined up, get set. Nice snap right back, and a quick kick high end over end coming up around midfield. Hits at midfield, takes a side bounce, and now Nichols thought about catching it and wisely does not. So kick was about 32, 33 yards. So Huntington, good field position just on their side of the midfield stripe.
He thought about getting it right there on that 2nd or 3rd bounce. I think if the ball would have came up right to him, he would have grabbed it, but it went away and wisely let it go. I saw something bad coming right there if he tried to get that ball. So
yeah, me too.
Good decision by Mr. Nichols. And, again, Huntington's going to start with the football at their own 48-yard line.
Well, they started the second half, the good field position. Didn't really get the running game. Got into a passing situation, and they had a holding penalty and couldn't overcome it. See what they do this time. If they go back to try and run the football again, single running back, Hirsch, they do run it. Around the left side, Taylor, 50, 45 of Adena. And taken out of bounds over there on the carry by Isaac Taylor. Looks like he got pretty good yardage. Not sure exactly where he stepped out.
I'm going to give him
7?
8.
7, 8?
Yep.
We're in the 3rd quarter. Greg Bigham and Jaron Cox with you here. Huntington, 28-14.
Yeah, that was a different run by Taylor. Usually he kind of runs up the middle. That time they give it to him off tackle, and he showed a little burst of speed right there also.
Yeah, that was almost a wide off tackle, almost a zone blocking. They let him run outside, but didn't keep him inside the tackles, and he got good yardage. Same formation. Now McNeil comes back to the right side. They'll run Taylor to the right side. He's got the first down, breaks one tackle, falls forward. And he's got about 7 or 8 more. Put the head down and turn the forward. First down.
Yeah, he's load to bring down if you're only trying to tackle him with one player. And a nice job by Coach Beeler getting him the ball where it's kind of like a one-on-one situation here these past 2 carries, and it's picked up about 7 or 8 yards both carries.
At the 37 of Adena, first down for the Huntsmen. Carson Smith, Johnson, Luke, George, Caden Birchfield, Jaden Moore up front in the offensive line. They'll run it again. They'll load off the left side. This time it's the other guy, Thomas, and he's got maybe 5. Again, they ran it a little bit wider that time, Jaron, not really taking it straight ahead inside the guards, but running a little bit wider.
You're right, Greg, they are. And the one thing I'm seeing here, I would almost look for a Huntington pass here soon. Adena's really getting 8, 9 guys up in the box right here to shut this running game down. And they didn't have anybody deep on that play. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if Huntington tries to throw a pass here soon.
Second down, give him 6. 2nd and 4. They move their tight end, both McNeil's tight end and flanker. Now they're overloaded on the left side. They'll run it to the left side. Not much running room and fighting, but not much gained that time by Thomas. Adena did a good job of penetration, and they're going to be 3rd down. Hardly, he might have gotten a yard at the most there. Good defense by the Warriors.
3rd down and 3, and you got to think this is probably 4-down territory here at the 30-yard line. And, you know, it's – I think if you're Coach Beeler, you're playing to win, so I would be aggressive right here.
Good and short. Those tackles, Clayton Pauly and Chuck Saxauer doing a good job in the middle there for Adena. So 3rd down, maybe got a yard. 3rd and 3. Overload the left side again. They go quick off the left side. No, Hirsch is going to keep it, and it got to 1st down, breaks loose. Got 5 more, and he's still loose, still dragging. He got loose again. Did he get in the end zone? He's down maybe at the 1.
A 29-yard run.
It could not. Talking about the big guys, Thomas and Taylor, but Frankie Hirsch got to the corner, and there must have been 5 blue jerseys at one time or another get a hand on him, have him pulling on his jersey, pulling on him. He just kept pulling them with him, and he gets down near the goal line.
Adena's trying to arm tackle right now. That's a sign of being tired, and you see some hands on the hips out there. And Frankie, he's quick. We've talked about that. He's also got some strength.
Make sure everybody's set. They're going to go straight ahead with Taylor, almost a quarterback sneak with the big guy, and he finally gets in. Battle and battle. You know, they've run that well against Beaver Eastern. They've not been as successful, but they went with Isaac Taylor, and I think he took a direct snap. And he did get in. The touchdown will go to Isaac, and that'll make it 34-14. In favor of Huntington, able to drive down the field in what will be a 52-yard touchdown drive.
I think they set Taylor up, Greg, right behind that right guard. And it's just a quick handoff to him, and then Hirsch and the other running backs behind him come up and kind of push him in.
Well, they've been going for – first attempt was blocked. They tried to kick it. So they've been going for 2 the rest of the night, and they'll go for 2 again. A lot of their 2-point conversions have been via the pass route. So going for 2. They weren't set, I don't think. And now Hirsch is in trouble, and he's going to be sacked way back there. That play never had a chance. Half the guys for Huntington, I don't think were even set. So the extra point attempt, no good. Timeout on the field. It's 34-14, a 20-point advantage for the Huntsmen. You're listening to the
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world. With multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
Big drive there for the Huntsmen. Their first drive of the second half faltered after a penalty hurt it. They come right back, get the football, and they march 52 yards unofficially on that touchdown drive. The big was a run by Hirsch when he got around the left corner. It looked like it was going to be about a 5-yard gain, and he just kept pulling away from tacklers and got it all the way down to the 2, and had it set up a goal-to-go situation, and Taylor gets it in for the Huntsmen. It gives them a 20-point advantage here against the Warriors. Still in the third quarter, but we're down 3:25 left in the period. And there's a kick by Huntington that goes into the crowd almost. on the Huntington side. Good crowd from Huntington tonight. They've pretty well filled the stands over there.
Yeah, they have. It's
got a flag on the play.
I almost feel out of place, Greg. I'm so used to being on the other side of the field, and you know they switched the bleachers and the press box to the opposite side this year, and it looks good. It's just when you're used to being somewhere, when you change it up, it's a little curveball.
Maybe the marker was that the ball went out of bounds. So did it bring it to the 40 or where it went out of bounds, or you have your choice? It's going to be close to the 40, it looks like.
Well, they got about the 43-yard line.
So, tell you that both teams need a little work on the kickoffs. Both teams are pretty much as automatic. You're out across your own 40 to start the series. There right away. First play off to the right side. Good stop by the Huntsmen. Blocked that up off the handoff from Ely.
Yeah, that's really the first time they've kind of got Hunter Williams and contained him a little bit right there.
Hunter's not carried it a lot. They put him in the lineup, and he's been tough to bring down. He had that big 29-yard touchdown run. That time they got him before he got started. They're going to lose 2 yards. They'll bring up 2nd and 12 for Adena. 3 minutes to play third quarter. Huntington leads at 34-14.
I'd like to see Adena get the ball out into Fisher Schaaf's hand and Joey Francis' hand out on the outside.
They did that early pretty well. A lot of those quick bubble screens. They bring Rawlings out to the left. They bring 3 receivers out to the left side. And now they look, and there is that bubble screen. They missed the first guy, and that might be a backwards pass. Nice hustle by Adena to get on. I think it was a backwards pass. They tried to go out to the left. And that's a nice job being well aware by Fisher Schaaf.
Yeah, it was. Elick tried to throw the ball as soon as it was snapped, but a nice job by the defensive end by Huntington. I believe that was Carson McNeil. Got right in that direct path and made Elick tuck the ball, and then he had to throw it backwards. Like you said, good awareness by Schaaf to go jump on top of the ball.
Yeah, it is a backwards pass. It'll be a minus yardage. Good job by Schaaf to recover it, but he moves it back to the 30, and it's third down. And a long way to go. Third and 20, about 3rd and 28 maybe. Also, nice job up on the front line. That was Rhett Phipps did a good job with pressure there for Huntington. 3rd and a long way. A lot of receivers to the right. They want to throw to the right. They'll throw to the sidelines, and they got a man, and Huntington falls down, and now they get the second man to come up and make the tackle. The first guy there fell down for Huntington. That was Taylor. But they make the stop to Francis, and he's going to be shy of the first down. Going to bring up about 4th and 12. Pickup of about 12 or 13. You're down 34-14. You're out near midfield. And we'll see if the Warriors decide to go for it. And they may just do that. Minute 13.
At this point,
12.
you're down 20 points. I feel like, you almost have to.
That was another of those quick passes, and Adena showing a lot of quickness. And now coming in with the play. Elick came to the sidelines to get the play, and Elick back out to call it. Under a minute to play third quarter. Big play here on 4th and 12.
Big play.
Man in motion to the left side. Snap back, looking. They want to fake the quick out. Now there's heavy pressure, and the quarterback is going to be brought down to blow the whistle. As fighting for yardage back there is Elick. Tough to bring down, but that's going to be a quarterback sack. They've been a lot of those quick bubble screens, quick hitch patterns. That time, Jaron, they faked it. They were hoping Huntington would bite on the hitch pattern and send the guy long, but he didn't have enough time. Elick came and was sacked.
Yeah, nice pressure right there by the Huntington D-line. 4th and 12, you knew the pass was coming, and a good job of kind of pinning their ears back and going after the quarterback. Didn't let Elick get set or step up in the pocket right there.
So they're down on downs, and that'll turn the ball to Huntington again in plus territory. They're going to start this at the 34.
Yep.
So their field position obviously has been great all night long for the Huntsmen. They can't blame Adena. They're down. They weren't far from midfield. You want to take a chance to try to get the first down. And Huntington in for the sack. Hirsch wants to throw. Now he fakes again, scrambling. Now he's going to throw deep. Only a single receiver down there. Did he catch
got it?
Diving catch and a touchdown on the other end.
Nice.
That's Nichols.
Throw. Nice throw by Frankie Hirsch right there. Dalton Nichols dives to catch it. Nice 34-yard touchdown pass.
he looked for him. They wanted to run a stop and go, but really the Adena defenders, there were two of them, did a pretty good job. Hirsch let it go, and Nichols was only about 1.5 yards behind him, and he made a diving catch about 8 yards in the end zone. Nice pass by Hirsch. Great catch by Nichols.
Wow. The one thing about it, Huntington can put points up, Greg.
Yeah.
They can put points on the board.
They'll go for two again, now leading 40-14. Hirsch rolls to the right, looking. Now he's in trouble, still looking, scrambling, still looking, throws into the corner and not able to bring it in. Right on the sideline, he tried to get it to Carson McNeil. Good coverage by the Warriors. 30 seconds remain until the end of the third quarter. And the score now, Huntington 40 and Adena 14. You're listening to the SVC Thomason Insurance.
It's not just about saving up. It's learning what it means to earn something for yourself, a few dollars at a time. It's about earning your independence. Every deposit, every goal, every step closer. It's more than just opening an account. It's opening the door to what's next. People's Bank, working together, building success.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
First had a touchdown pass for the first touchdown. He ran for the second touchdown. He's had a couple. He had a three touchdown passes. Yeah, he had a 15-yard touchdown pass to Cooper in that one. So Hirsch with touchdown running, 3 passing for the talented quarterback for the Huntsmen, Frankie Hirsch.
40 points on the board. You think Huntington have a bunch of yards. They only have 288, Greg, because they've had such short field to go.
Only 30 seconds remain till the end of the third quarter. Now 40-14, Huntington on top. They kick this one down, and it's going to bounce once and bounce picked up back around the 20 for Adena. They try to get back to the right sidelines, now driven out of bounds inside their own 30. And that's where Adena will start with now down to 23 seconds here at the end of the quarter. Waiting to see where they officially mark it. I know it's inside of 25, so.
I think that's the 20. I think they're like at the 19-yard line.
Good eyes there, Chief.
I can see these numbers over here. There's nobody in my direct view, and there's a lot of things that's hard to see, but that's one thing I was able to see. Right
when it's on the one end of the field where we're at now, we've got our windows open, and we got good vision. When it goes to the other end of the field, you have to look through the glass, and they're tinted, and makes it a little difficult to see. But we're okay right now. So Adena at the 19. They put a man in motion. Ely looking now, he wants to run with it and get straight ahead. Now it breaks the tackle. Huntington not able to get him down, and he's going to get near the 10 yards out near the 30-yard line, and they do mark it first down.
Yeah, give him 11 right there for a first down.
Was that a direct snap?
It was. It was a fake handoff.
Yeah, it was a carry by the quarterback, Ely. Clock's going to run down. Ely's a little.
I think he's going to need
a little bit.
Well, I think he got hit somewhere, Greg.
He's going to get to the sideline. You know what? Let's give him a breather here. Let the clock run out, and that ends the third quarter. 3 quarters of action complete here in Frankfort at Bostic Field. It's Huntington 40, Adena 14. You're listening to the Thomason Insurance SVC Game of the Week.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationship.
Looking for a job that works with your life? Your local McDonald's is now hiring. Join a team that's all about flexibility, growth, and a fun, fast-paced work environment.
At McDonald's, we're more than just burgers. We're part of the community. From supported local events to helping neighbors in need, we're proud to give back.
Apply today at your local Chillicothe or Waverly McDonald's or McHire.com. We'd love to have you on the team.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it.
Integrity. It's a small word with a big meaning, and it's one we hold dear at Ross County Banking Center. That means we work hard every day to do what's right, even when no one's looking. We treat people the way we want to be treated, volunteer in our communities, and keep a watchful eye to safeguard our customers. At Ross County Banking Center.
You've been watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.
For Warner, the left guard, Lee Sowers over the football at center for the Warriors. Chuck Saxauer, we talked about him defensively. At the right guard, right tackle, Dylan Lynch. And been using three running backs tonight. Grady Hayden, Hunter Williams occasionally, and then Grant Rawlings. Quick receivers, particularly the receivers at Schaff. And I know Schaff has got back in the game. He got hurt earlier.
Yeah, he's caught a couple passes here in the second half.
A new set of downs. Take the snap. They fake the handoff, and they run to the left side. Not a lot there. It looks like it was the quarterback that faked the pitch.
Yeah, it was a counter to Williams, and he just didn't get anything.
They faked the pitch to the right, gave it back to Williams coming to the left side, and he loses a yard. Second down and 11. Just underway here in the fourth quarter with the Huntsmen on top. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but Huntington finishes with Piketon next week.
Yeah.
And I was thinking if Piketon beat Westfall, that could be for a battle for somebody to get those final points for the playoffs, but Piketon was losing big to Westfall.
Yeah. We do have a final. Zane Trace, 69. Paint Valley, 0. I guess both schools agreed to a running clock to start the second quarter in that game.
Yeah, Paint Valley with not a whole lot of people. Boy, they're going to lose some seniors. They're going to be probably shorthanded next year again. And now a whistle before the snap, and I think somebody moved on the line for Adena, going to mark off 5 more yards. Uniota was handling their game with Southeastern easy enough.
You know, Adena was in the game, Greg, tonight, and then I really feel like the play that kind of changed the whole momentum was the block punt right there. And it seemed like since the block punt, Adena just hasn't been able to get anything going offensively.
And Huntington didn't score, but it set up bad field position.
Right.
Eventually. And now they fumbled the snap in the backfield. Ely can't hang on to it. And there's a bunch of people grabbing hold of Ethan, pull him down in the backfield. One of those back there quickly defensively to grab hold. Number 44, Jackson McNeil for the Huntsmen. So Ely's going to lose a few more yards, and it's going to be third and very long here for the Warriors. Clock continues to move, 10.5 minutes to play in the football game.
It seems like the last couple times Adena's had the football, they've had some penalties and bad snaps and really got him behind the chains and got him in these second and third and really long situations.
They've been in long, really gotten behind the chains. There are a couple of possessions here in the second half. And we'll see what they like to do. If they probably throw the football, see if those quick receivers they can get to. And they're going to run it up the middle and running room and a first down. They ran a quick trap play, and they run it for a first down. Boy, Huntington got caught napping there. They got caught with their pants down. I don't think they had any idea what was going to happen.
They had Huntington was playing like a 3-deep safety look right there, expecting a pass, trying to keep everything in front. And Grady Hayden found a hole up the middle, had a bunch of running room, picks up 23 yards.
He was 15 yards down the field before I saw him, and I don't think Huntington saw him either. It was just a quick trap play, and you're right. He picks up a first down on the run. Huntington lets Adena get out of big trouble there, and now we got another flag down.
Huntington in the neutral zone.
Second time they've been called for that tonight. To a 5-yard mark off.
1st and 5 for the Warriors. 9
minutes. Hayden, that was a run of, what did he run, 20-some yards there?
I had him for 23,
Yeah.
He kind of got hit right about where the first down marker was and leaned forward, took a guy with him an extra couple yards, and 23.
Coming up on 9 minutes left in the ball game, Adena trying to get a drive together here, overcoming that long situation. Now the quarterback's going to run this time, and he's going to get near the first down. They only needed 5 after the offsides. And the official here says, let's move it ahead. Give him 5 yards on the carry by Ethan Elick. Around straight quarterback run and a first down Warriors.
Yeah. You know, Adena's shown some good signs here, Greg. It's just been some mistakes, you know. Block punt, interception, fumble.
If you're tracking Clarkson's yards.
You know, Huntington, if they do make the playoffs, they can move the ball against anybody.
Absolutely.
I think their key is defensively giving up the big. They give up tonight. They've probably given up 5 or 6 at least chunk plays of 20 to 30 yards, and I think that happened to them at Beaver Eastern, obviously.
Yeah, that's been their MO in defense. The big play.
They get some stops, but then they give up a big play. Second man through on the trap play. Nice defensive play and a fumble. The ball on the field. And I think Huntington came up with it. The guy who caused the fumble was Rhett Phipps, made the tackle. Rollins was on the carry. And
Huntington recovered it.
Huntington recovers it. Nice defensive play by Rhett Phipps. He caused the fumble. Not sure who got it. And it's right at midfield, and Huntington will take over after Adena had gotten something going there. That was a counter play. They brought back the counter coming from right to left. I think it was Rawlings on the carry that lost the football. So we're going to say it is at the 49 of Huntington. The Huntsmen will get it back.
And again, Huntington, their own 49, right? Basically at midfield again for the Huntsmen.
Yeah. Last time Adena 34 at their own 48, at their own 49. That's been the theme tonight. Talked about that when Jaron gave total yardage. They've had short fields. 1st and 10. Hirsch wants to run. A little bit of a mix-up. Now they hand it off. They got 5 yards to the 45, up to the 40. Big hit coming up strong. One of the defensive backs for the Warriors. That looked like a little bit of a mix-up and turns into a 9-yard run.
Yeah, they kind of screwed something up right there, but that was number 3, Colt Parker. He picks up 10 yards.
Parker on the carry. I was should get the number. That was one of our possible things for our collision of the game.
Yeah.
One of the defensive backs might have. So it's a first down on the 11-yard pickup down to the 40 of Adena. Straight ahead on the run. A little bit of a move at the line of scrimmage with not much running room.
Evan Thomas.
Thomas on the carry. Not much running room there.
Little extracurricular activity towards the end of that play. Adena trying to draw the ball out. 7 minutes and about, we'll call it 10 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's 40-14. It was a 20-14 game right before half, and Huntington scored in the final 15, 18 seconds of the half to go up by 2 scores. And then they've added 2 more scores here in the second half. And now lead at 40-14, and now under 7 minutes as Huntington comes out looking at a 2nd and 10. Hirsch still your quarterback. The only guy behind him looks like Evan Thomas. And they always move the tight end and the flanker from the right side to the left side. Frankie back to pass, looking, got some pressure. Across the middle and caught right across the middle to the 15, to the 10. Nobody there, and that's an easy touchdown. The catch again by Nichols, but we got a penalty flying down in the middle of the field.
We have, a flag. It kind of looks like the linemen aren't moving, so I would assume this is going to come back. Looks like an ineligible receiver downfield. Maybe one of the offensive linemen went past that 3-yard window that he's allowed.
I think Nichols was a crossing pattern.
Wide open.
Oh, and then perfect pass by Hirsch. And then when Nichols caught it, he was coming across the field against the grain, and he wasn't touched. So it was going to be a touchdown, but brought back, and I think you're right, might be in one of the linemen got downfield possibly.
Man, that would have been a running clock right there, Greg. You thought maybe one of the officials would have let that one go.
Was that this crew doesn't really tell you what the call was very much.
They don't. I thought they announced the first couple, but they kind of stopped.
The clock moving again, coming up on 6 minutes. Now 2nd and 15. Hirsch going to go back to pass again. Throws it into the flat. He's got his man Thomas to the 45, to the 40, and now driven out of bounds. Crashes into the sidelines. There's some extra Adena players over there. So Thomas on a little swing pass. Got about 6 or 7 yards. Move it inside the 40 of Adena.
Yeah, and I kind of like what Coach Beeler's doing right now. Like, I don't really feel like he's trying to run the score up, but these are situations like you might need to work on, if next week and week 11.
They're big plays tonight, and their offense is. I mean, Hirsch had that one scramble, tremendous run that set up the one score, but otherwise it's been the passing. They've had a lot of steady runs, but now third and a long 8. Hirsch wants to throw. Here comes, they grabbed the guy, looked like holding. Now Hirsch throws it to the sidelines, got his man near the first down marker, and going to be very close, maybe a yard short. That was to McNeil, I believe, on the catch.
Yeah, that was Carson.
One of the Adena defensive linemen had made penetration. Looked like one of the Huntsman grabbed him by the jersey. So 4th and 2, let's call it. And they say his knee went down in bounds, so the clock will run. 5.5 to play in the ball game. 40-14 in favor of the Huntsmen.
I'll tell you, Frankie, he does such a nice job with his legs.
He does.
He's getting pressure on him, but he's so quick and athletic, getting outside the pocket, and he always keeps his eyes down the field. That's really impressive for a junior quarterback.
4th and 2.
Yep. Drew him off sides.
Yep, I think they called, and I think, Adena jumped off sides. That'll give Huntington a first down off the penalty. Good job by Huntington calling a long signal, drawing them off sides. And that'll give a brand new set of downs to the Huntsmen here late in the ball game. They move the ball, move the chains, say let's start the clock. 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Hirsch goes to the sidelines and gets the play. So the Huntsmen line it up again. Pretty tight formation. They do split it into the right. Now they bring McNeil to the right side. They'll run it off the left guard, breaking to the outside, pulled down from behind. Nice defensive play.
Taylor picked up about 3.
Right.
Taylor he's got 72 yards on 14 carries so far tonight. Again, they kind of like a little zone play right there, off tackle, outside. And when he gets ahead of steam, he's hard to tackle also.
So a gain of 3 or 4. Roster pulled up for Adena, so made that nice tackle. So 2nd and 7. Hirsch rolls to the right, throws to the sidelines, complete near the first down marker. So a pickup of almost 7. They say he went down. They'll keep the clock running.
To Calvin Hirsch.
It was Calvin Hirsch on the catch.
Looks like they're going to say, well.
Yeah, he's just shy of the first
They're
down.
moving the front end chain. Yeah, they're going to give it to him.
First down. So they're inside the 20.
I'll tell you, Greg.
About the 15, maybe.
You're right about Huntington. They got some playmakers out there, just all over the field. They move the ball up and down the field. They can put points on the board.
Adena jumping around defensively. Brand new set of downs for the Huntsmen here late in the game. They'll hand it off on the run now, breaking around the left side to the 15. Breaks inside at the 10. Back inside the 10, down near the 5.
Evan Thomas.
That was
it was Evan Thomas,
about
13
0.
yards.
Yep, Evan Thomas on the carry. There's a first down at the 5-yard line. 6-yard line, a new set of downs for the Huntsmen.
Good balance by Huntington rushing attack tonight. They got 3 guys over 50 yards. Taylor 72, Thomas 57, Hirsch 65.
A new set of downs, and now bringing in the play. Heading out, Evan Thomas will come out of the game. Kevin and a couple of the Adena defenders was having a discussion after that carry, and then Coach Beal brings Thomas out of the game. Hirsch in the pistol from the 6. Give it to Taylor. He wants to break it around the outside. Gets to the 5. Inside the 5 is a penalty. Late flag coming down from the left side. Taylor got into the end zone, but there's a flag thrown behind the play.
I assume this is going to be a holding. That's usually where holding flags are thrown at.
So the touchdown, nice run, a good run there by Isaac Taylor. So the Huntsman called. probably, if Coach talked to Coach Beal, one of the things he probably is not extremely happy about, he gave up some chunk plays of 25, 29, 30 yards. But the other thing is the number of penalties have hurt the Huntsmen tonight.
They've had 9 penalties for 75 yards. And I think that's the two things about Huntington is the big plays given up on defense and penalties. That they've got to eliminate those things, and they could be serious contenders.
First down, way back, and goal to go. Now they'll hand it off straight up the middle. 5-10, busting forward. I believe that is Taylor again. Probably picked up the line of scrimmage, was moved back around to 15. He got back inside the 10. I mean, all the way down to the 5. Clock moving down to 2 minutes to play in the ball game. So second and goal to go for the Huntsmen, and coming out Taylor.
You're probably getting close to that point. I don't know if they can actually run the clock out or not, but if they get that play clock down to 1 or 2 seconds, they probably could run the clock out, I would assume.
Split man to left side, Parker in the game. They run the flanker to the right. Down around the 5. They'll run it off the right side. Cut back inside, and is it a touchdown?
Well, there's a penalty flag. Holding.
Flag on the play. Holding on the Huntsman.
So they'll bring it back again. They'll run second down over again. Yeah, now you could almost run the clock out. We're down to a minute 20 if they start the clock after they mark the yardage. But try not to find fault with the officials, and the guys have done a good. But my problem tonight is they have done a terrible job of identifying what the penalties are. Usually your head referee will face the sidelines and able to see him. And actually our head referee tonight's having a little trouble moving around. He's limping a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I think they're going to run the clock out. Maybe they come up in victory formation.
Yeah.
They can let the clock run down. They're almost down to a minute. Second down. And they do kneel.
I'm not going to count these negative yards.
Yeah. So they run once, and I think they'll have to run one more play. It's third down, and all they have to do is kneel once more, and assuming Adena's not going to call timeout. Huntington doing a nice job. We just talked about that, them having a chance to score again, but now when it got down to a minute 20, realizing they can just take a knee and not score again. Huntington after the line of scrimmage, a victory formation, clock moving 35 down to 30 seconds. And they should need to only run one more play and end this one here at Bostic Field with a Huntington victory. And there'd be victory number 6. They could beat Piketon. They would tie a school record with 7 wins in a football season next week. And they kneel down, and that should do it. Clock's going to run out down to 15 seconds after the kneel down by quarterback Frankie Hirsch. And that'll do it from Adena. Strong second half and a strong finish to the first half for the Huntington Huntsmen, and they win it gone away tonight. Final score from Bostic Field, Huntington 40 and Adena 14. We'll be back and wrap this one up. You're listening to the Tomlinson Insurance SVC Game of the Week.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage.
Oh, my mower won't start. I know what to do. Take it to Matheny's Small Engine Repair, located on Savageville School Road in between Jackson and Chillicothe. Matheny's is now an official Encore dealer with both new commercial and residential models on display. They'll get you up and mowing.
The Lunchbox in Chillicothe, home of the famous pretzel sandwich. Enjoy all-day breakfast, fresh lemonade shake-ups, and a big menu for a small space. Visit us at 24 East Water Street or call 740-775-8624. Delivery, dine-in, and carry-out are available.
Stressed? Overstimulated? Smash it out at Recreations. Rec plates in our rage room, fling paint in the splatter zone, then strike a pose in the selfie studio. Chaos, creativity, and content. Let's get messy.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. From auto, home, farm, life, or health, we tailor coverage that fits your world. With multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
Our employees certainly get the credit for that growth. The relationships that they build, people want to deal with people they can trust, they know, feel connected to. And I think that's where a community bank such as Kingston really shines. The color of money is the same no matter where you go, but I think the people behind it is what makes the difference. Having the empathy to understand what's going on in someone's business or personal lives and how you might be able to help it. I think our customers expect that, want that, and truthfully, they deserve that.
Oh, my mower won't start. I know what to do. Take it to Matheny's Small Engine Repair, located on Savageville School Road in between Jackson and Chillicothe. Matheny's is now an official Encore dealer with both new commercial and residential models on display. They'll get you up mowing.
Greg Biggin and Jaron Cox back at Bostic Field to wrap this one up. A victory for the Huntsmen. And that means the Huntsmen now get their 6th win of the year. We mentioned earlier that Huntington, if they win next week, would be 7 wins. That would tie a school record for most wins in a football season. It also probably means if they can win next week, a trip to the playoffs, and they meet up against Piketon, who's losing tonight. They closed down a little bit, but they're still losing fairly big to Westfall. Right now it's 39-21, 18-point lead for Westfall over Piketon. Real quickly, Unionto winning easily. Zane Trace won easily tonight. 2 big battles, one in the mid-state. And Bloom Carroll has a slight lead. Jackson has a slight lead over Miami Trace in the FAC. Chillicothe winning tonight. Let's get back to this one. It was 28-14. Big end of the half. 18 seconds left in the first half when Huntington got the interception, and then 18 seconds when they scored on the pass to Cooper, and it put it up to 28-14 at the half. Huntington punted on the first possession, but so did Adena. Huntington came back. Taylor with a 2-yard run late in the third quarter, 34-14. Adena was stopped on downs in their own territory. That gave Huntington the ball to Adena, 34, and on one play, a 34-yard touchdown pass to Nichols to make it 40-14. That was at the end of the third quarter. Nobody scored in the fourth quarter. Huntington drove down there late in the game and wound up running the clock out. And the final from Bostic Field, Huntington gets another win. They knock off Adena the final 40-14. Jaron?
Yeah, let's take a look at some stats here. First for Huntington, who improves to 6-3 on the year and 4-2 in the SVC, and they're still in the playoff hunt with this win tonight. And had them for 36 rushes for 242 yards, three touchdowns on the ground tonight. They had good balance. Isaac Taylor led the way, 15 carries, 81 yards. Frankie Hirsch, the junior quarterback, 4 carries for 65 yards. Evan Thomas, 13 carries for 57 yards. Colt Parker had 1 carry for 10 yards. Dalton Nichols on an end around had 1 carry, 18 yards. And Jackson McNeil, 2 carries for 11 yards to round out the Huntington rushing attack. Throwing the football, Frankie Hirsch, 10 for 14, 116 yards, 3 touchdown throws tonight for the junior quarterback. Just really impressed, not only with his ability to throw, his ability to scramble and buy time. He keeps his eyes down the field, and I've just been really impressed both times I've seen him this year. Catching the ball for the Huntsmen, led by Dalton Nichols tonight. 3 catches, 26 yards, and I had him for 2 touchdown catches. Actually, that's not right. He should have had way more than that. He had the 34-yard catch. Give him 60 yards. 4 catches for 60 yards. 2 touchdown catches for Dalton Nichols. Carson McNeil, 2 catches, 23 yards. L.J. Cooper, 1 catch, 15 yards, and a touchdown. Jackson McNeil, 1 catch for 9 yards. Evan Thomas, 1 catch for 6 yards. And the freshman Calvin Hirsch, 1 catch for 8 yards. 10 penalties on the night for the Huntsmen for 85 yards. Flipping over to Adena, they ran the ball 24 times for 119 yards. Had 1 fumble and 1 touchdown. They were led in rushing by Grady Hayden, 10 carries, 67 yards. Hunter Williams gave him a nice spark in the backfield, 5 carries, 37 yards. Grant Rawlings, 3 carries, 9 yards. Mr. Schaff, 1 carry, got caught in the backfield on the backwards pass, negative 11 yards. Joey Francis on a double reverse for 19 yards. Throwing the football, Ethan Elick, 7 of 10 for 69 yards, threw for 1 touchdown, 1 interception. His leading receivers were Joey Francis, 3 catches, 19 yards. Fisher Schaff, 2 catches for 33 yards. And Colt Garrison, 1 catch for 60 yards. The Warriors finished the night 5 penalties for 50 yards. You sit there and you look at the yardage difference between the two teams. Had Huntington at 324 to Adena at 188. And I really felt like at the end of the first half, Greg, Huntington kind of put their stamp on the game and just kind of really took over. The block punt, the interception there at the end of the first half, the touchdown score, and then in the second half, it just seemed like they had the ball the majority of the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, the end of the first half was definitely probably the final turning point. Adena stayed right with them, led 14-12. It was 20-14, and then the block punt, but Adena held. Remember, they did not give up a touchdown, and there was only 40-some seconds, and Adena, again, 20/20 hindsight, you're trying to win a ball game. It's late in the year. But Adena had 40-some seconds. They decided to throw it. They could have run the clock out going in down 6, but they knew Huntington was getting the ball to start the second half. They tried to pass down the middle, and the freshman Calvin Hirsch picked it off, gave Huntington that final chance in the final 40 seconds, and they took advantage of it finally with the touchdown pass. And to Cooper, I believe, and that made it 28-14. That took a lot. I agree with you, Jaron. That final couple minutes of the half took a lot out of Adena. They're down 2 scores, and Huntington got it to start the second half, and Adena couldn't get it going again. Another thing, I'm going to make a kind of a bold statement, and this is I don't mean as far as the other team. I'm not so sure if you told me right now, hey, Greg, and I don't like to pick one player over another because it's a team sport. I think right now Frankie Hirsch is as good a quarterback as there is in the SVC. Now, take nothing away. Gunnar McCullough is a different kind of quarterback, a big, solid athlete. You got all of a sudden Unioto Coy. I wanted to say Coy. Yeah, Coy does a great job. He's got tremendous Zikafus throwing the ball to him. Those guys probably don't have to do as much as Frankie does, but I just you made a moment ago. I think Frankie Hirsch plays as well as anybody. And he can make some big plays with his feet. He did tonight. His passes are almost every one. I mean, one might have been behind the guy. His passes are spot on. So kind of to me, it was a team win tonight, but hats off. I think Frankie Hirsch does a great job.
I think you're right. You asked me earlier tonight about the 3 running backs. I said I thought maybe Bryce Johnson was the best of both worlds. Well, you talk about those 3 quarterbacks. Gunnar, he's an exceptional runner. He's very quick. He's got the long legs. He's strong. Isaac Coy, really nice throwing the football. Frankie's got both of them. Yeah, and I'm not. Again, we're not taking anything away.
No, and I'd take any of them.
I'm really impressed with Frankie Hirsch, his ability to escape from pressure. He breaks tackles when he's running, and when he's escaping for pressure, he does not tuck the ball away. He keeps it in his hand. He keeps his eyes down the field. And he does a nice job of finding Dalton Nichols and Carson McNeil and Calvin Hirsch. And I think Coach Beeler's just done an outstanding job with him. And I'm really impressed with this Huntington football team. Zane Trace, they're phenomenal at running the football. Unioto throws it. They run it. I feel like as far as a complete team, running and throwing, Huntington may be the second best team in the league. This is the 7th game that they've put up 30 or more points, and their offense, they have the ability to move the ball up and down the field, put points on the board. their big thing is they got to limit the penalties and they got to limit the big plays on defense.
No doubt about it. They got a big one next week. Could mean a chance for them to get to the playoffs, and they play Piketon next week. Our broadcast game will be looking at Unioto trying to finish off with a goal of football, hosting a pretty good Westfall team at Unioto. That'll be our Thomason Insurance SVC game of the week next Friday night. And I'll have someone help me because I think Jaron's got to jump over to do Chillicothe. That's a big game for them next week.
I'm going to jump over. Yeah, we're going to have Chillicothe at Jackson. I'm trying to find a final score right now.
Jackson was up. Okay, I knew they were up a touchdown last time I saw.
Yeah, so. Jackson won 41-27. So, if Chillicothe is able to knock off Jackson, it could be a tie for the FAC championship. So a big game down in Jackson next Friday.
All right, so that'll do it from here. Thanks to all of our great sponsors, to Vanessa back at the studios, keeping us straight, and thank you to Paul Thomas and the crew here for making space for us here in the press box at Bostic Field and let us bring you the game tonight. Our first chance to see Adena, another big win for Huntington. Again, next Friday night, it'll be our broadcast game. The Shermans try to finish a 10-0 season, hosting the Mustangs. We'll have that for you next Friday night on the Thomason Insurance SVC Game of the Week. On behalf of Jaron Cox, Greg Bickham, so long from Frankfort, Ohio. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for watching SVC Game of the Week, presented to you by Tomlinson Insurance.